competitions, it has to be goals! Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every match week on Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Wednesday, only in the Sun.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Samara Farah is learning her own.
So, no. With Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Dip lunches. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my BB one day.
Back in a mo.
Click and Collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix, no stopping you.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fans-only stadium-style seating. Amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles a burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the mark. And it's there. His favourite ice cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Crocs Clips just dropped in Happy Meal. Express yourself however you feel. Sports mode, stylish, or superstar too. Where's the vibe? We've got them all for you. Some fun, some food. It's all inside this Happy Meal.
Until the 25th of September from 11 a.m. Includes one piece of equipment booklets for Crocs range and private toys only while stocks last. Children will see that.
In 10 metres, take a left at the pile of washing.
Sorry, what?
At the Valley of Toy Dinosaurs, approach the kitchen with no room to cook. Turn right at the wardrobe. You've reached chaos. Recalculating. Suggest immediate course correction to IKEA for fitted wardrobes, children's storage and cupboard organisers.
Find your way back to calm. Discover smart storage at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Tonight, Arsenal versus Coventry live today. 18 plus stream our internet, terms apply.
At talksport.com. Coventry are about to play their first Premier League match for 25 years, exclusively live on TalkSport. And tonight's task is a tough one. Arsenal at the Emirates. Frank Lampard is urging his players to show what they're made of. Meanwhile, the Gunners have now officially signed Ezri Konsa from Villa for around £55 million. Villa themselves are in for Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson and Southampton's Taylor Harwood-Bellis. We understand the Prime Minister is considering leading a UK bid to host the 2042 World Cup. Sources also tell us Andy Burnham wants to host the 2024 Olympics, the 2040 Olympics, in a UK city outside of London. Shock. And Argentina's Leandro Paredes has been banned for 10 games for those scenes at the end of the World Cup final. FIFA has also banned his teammate Noel Molina for 7 matches.
More fun than paying your gas bill. Kick-off live on TalkSport.
And the Emirates slowly filling up as Arsenal and Coventry both out there warming up. The Coventry fans in sky blue and white stripes away in the corner to our right. Arsenal fans slowly filling their seats. I thought they might all be in to hail the champions of the Premier League as they start their journey to retain that crown. It's live on TalkSport tonight. You're listening to Kickoff on TalkSport with Enterprise, Redcar, whatever it is, they're here for it. Let's go through the lineups once again with your match commentator, Jim Proudfoot.
Well, there's no Bruno Guimaraes in the Arsenal midfield. His groin strain means Christos Solis is the only new face in the 11. Rice comes in for Guimaraes. Saka replaces Madueke. The Gunners making 2 changes to the team that won the Community Shield. Coventry named the same side that beat Monaco impressively last week, although Rodoni is back from injury on the bench. Amenda, Urenchi and Sharon make their debuts. Sharon is one of only 4 of the team who played Premier League football before. So Bryant's in goal for Arsenal, White, Mosquera, Gabriel and Calafiori, Rice and Lewis Skelly, Saka, Odegaard and Solis, and Havertz. For Coventry, Rushworth in goal, Van Ewijk, Thomas, Amenda and De Silva, Onyeka, Urenchi and Grimes, Charlotte, Sims and Thomas Asante. And kick-off is less than 25 minutes away.
And just in front of us can see the Arsenal, the more defensive players in a mini huddle with the coaching staff. It just breaks up, and they've had themselves a little team talk there just to get themselves motivated with just over 20 minutes to go. Now it's the 40th anniversary season of Coventry's brilliant FA Cup win, so it's fitting that they're back in the big times.
Where should we begin?
He's leading 3, a hat-trick for Mickey Quinn. Arsenal 0, Coventry City 3.
So many memories of, look at the beating Man United on Boxing Day and various other games. Those days are amazing.
Huckabee again. With tight control, he's going all the way. Is he going to finish? He is! Oh, a magnificent goal from Darren Huckabee!
What's happened here is an incredible story. It really is.
And it's been some journey watching it. Well, League One back down to League Two.
Full-time whistle has blown and the scoreline is confirmed. Coventry are going to be relegated to League Two. Coventry 1, Charlton 1.
Where are we going to go from here?
And Coventry are up as well. Promoted to League One. Their first promotion since 1967.
The biggest thing for me throughout the whole process has been clearly the supporters and trying to reunite supporters with the players. That has been the biggest achievement, I think.
Went beyond football with this city, very, very tough times. So it heightened the feeling of what was achieved by the players.
It's over for Coventry, and Luton Town are back in the big time.
Heartbreak of the playoff final against Luton, losing arguably their two best players in Jokeres and Hay.
It's down Ballard! On to the near post. Ballard's there! Off the underside of a bar on it! It just wasn't meant to be.
Get to a playoff semi-final, unfortunately losing the last moment to then go again and win the league in the way the players did with a similar squad to the year before.
Feel the, wow, we're doing something, wow, what happened here? And so I think it will be probably a huge impact and bigger than we probably think today.
It's there again!
They deserve their chance to play in the Premier League. We're going to the champions and we'll hopefully give it our best.
You win a game like this, it stays with you for the rest of your life.
Let's focus on the Sky Blues. The man who writes about them for the Coventry Telegraph is Andy Turner. How are you doing, Andy?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Really excited.
Excited, but can you make a case for Coventry tonight?
Absolutely. I mean, look, the one thing that Frank Lampard will do is he'll have them organised. He'll have a game plan. They're not obviously going to go gung-ho. They'll obviously try to keep in the game for as long as they can, and they'll have their plans to do that. They'll press, but they'll be disciplined. They'll probably spend a lot of time 4-5-1 with the wingers getting back and having the fullbacks out doubling up and all that sort of stuff. And hopefully they'll just give a really good account of themselves and be competitive. That's, I think, what all the fans want. They just want them to be competitive. Anything else is a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're playing the best team in the country away from home, so not many people are giving them a chance. You're a little bit more positive there than most, to be fair. I think the thing is with Coventry, we saw last season they've got finishers in the team, so if they do get chances, there's a likelihood they won't just take those chances.
Yeah, I mean, Ellis Sims, he's more than capable of getting goals, and he's got his goals at Coventry come in flurries. He'll score 4 or 5, and then he'll go on 10 games without a goal. So he's sort of lacked that consistency, but he's got all the ingredients to be a top player. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, and he's really quick as well when he gets motoring. And he can score goals.
I just wanted to cast your eye on the pitch because there are counted 22 Arsenal staff warming up Arsenal. When you're in the Premier League and you look at Coventry staff, that's the scale of it, isn't it? The finance involved in the two sides. I mean, the thing that's been great about Coventry, it sounded, last year on that promotion run, that the city really got behind them. I think tonight really will be like a case of just staying in the game and taking the belief to next Saturday. Next Saturday's a big game, isn't it?
It really is, and that's the pressure game. I mean, this is a free hit, really. Nobody expects them to win. If they can stay in the game and just be positive and come out with their heads held high, not get spanked or whatever, then they can go into next week with confidence, knowing that they've competed with the best team in the country right now. And then Saturday, against Hull, that really will be a pressure game because the pressure will be on. They need to get 3 points as quickly as possible on the board.
Yeah, the business has been decent. Keeping Rushworth was important, and Onyeka, who was magnificent second half of last season. A couple of Coventry fans have said to me they're surprised that they haven't addressed what they think is an issue at left back. The Silver's there. If it is an issue, it's only up against Saka tonight. Is it a big issue?
I certainly think that Jay De Silva will be targeted tonight. We've seen in the past where some teams have tried to play a high ball over the top of him and get runners through, because obviously he's quite a short fullback. But look, Jay will be fired up for this. He really will, and he'll have a game plan. The manager will running through everything that he needs to do, so he'll be on the game. Don't forget, he's a Wales international. He has played against England. He's played against other top teams. In the world, so he's not a young kid. He knows what he's doing, but it will be a big test for him. But the left back situation, there's still time in the window left, and I think that will be addressed. It's just it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, so there's still going to be more business, you reckon?
Yes, I mean, Doug King was on your radio station this week, and he hinted basically there might be a couple more coming in. Obviously, there's some goalkeeper down Bentley today. But I think there's scope for a couple more outfield players, certainly.
Yeah, so Dan Bentley has come in. Rushworth remains the number one. Weird one, that, because Dan Bentley started for Wolves last week, didn't he?
Yes, but I think Frank wants someone with experience, great character as well. He's 33, been around. And what Frank has done is he's been really careful in the players that he has brought in have been really good characters. They're going to fit into this tight-knit dressing room where the team spirit sort of took them a long way last year. Their quality, they've got really good players in the Championship, but that quality can only take you so far, and you need that spirit and togetherness, which hopefully will take them a long way in the Premier League as well.
I was going to ask you how Frank Lampard has been to deal with, but I mean, we know he's a great guy. However, it's been great for Coventry so far under him. If they're losing most weeks, do you suspect it might become a little bit more difficult? It's unknown, uncharted territory, isn't it, at the minute, uncharted waters. So we don't know really, but what we do know is he's got vast experience, as a player and as a manager too. And he showed last season when he had a sort of mid-term wobble, that he kept the players upbeat, he kept them going, and instilled belief in them, and they came through that sticky patch. And I think his experience, having been there, done it, will hold them in good stead and will be key really to getting the players through the tough times and keeping them positive and believing that they can compete at this level. Well, he's got a lot in the bank already, Frank Lampard, there's no question. I don't expect fans to turn on him, for example. And let's have a nod towards the history of Coventry in recent times. Without stadium, as we know, for so many years, down to League Two, and here they are back in the Premier League. I mean, I assume you're planning to write the book.
There's been plenty of books written already, I can tell you that. But yeah, I mean, it's been quite a journey. I mean, I started covering the Sky Blues when they were in the Premier League for 2.5 seasons before they went down. And yeah, I mean, to come full circle, it's been a real journey, really. I mean, some really, really awful times, some really low points. The ground shares, the points deductions, the down to League Two. But the last 9 years, starting week 7 with Mark Robbins, I've just been incredible. And for young fans, all they've seen is success. It's been this upward curve for the last 9 years, which is great. And to come back here now, I think the fans are just going to enjoy it. I mean, they've been through such dark and difficult times, but they're determined just to enjoy it no matter what. They know it's going to be tough. They're realistic. I don't think they're going to turn on the manager. I don't think they're going to turn on the players if things don't go well. I think we're just going to enjoy it and enjoy it for what it is.
I'm a big fan of Jack Rodoni. He's on the bench tonight. Matt Grimes, I think, has been an inspired signing. I mean, are those the kind of players anybody else you want to highlight? That maybe those fans who are listening are only bothered with Premier League might not be too aware of. Anybody you want to highlight?
Well, I just think we go through the spine really. Obviously having Rushworth in goal, real really talented young lad, future England player, Frank Lampard believes. You know, they brought in a really Amenda, who's a really big unit, 6'4", 6'5", and looks the business, you know. And then in midfield, you've got the young lad Urenshi, who's just come in, and he looks a world beater, you know. And you know, if Coventry can get a season out of him, because I'm sure from what everybody's been saying and what they've seen of him, you know, he's destined for bigger and better things. And then, you know, up front they thought Taylor Wanyi, who is a real sort of cult hero, was a cult hero at Forest, and you know, knows the division and stuff like that. If he keep him fit, he can get goals for them.
Yeah, I mean, the business has been good, as you say. I think I said Coventry Evening Telegraph. You're all day, aren't you? It's Coventry Telegraph, isn't it? Andy, great to talk to you. Thanks for filling us in. Appreciate it. Enjoy it, if possible.
Thank you.
Andy from the Coventry Telegraph. With us live at the Emirates on TalkSport as the warm-ups are just about finished, and we are getting ready to go here at the Emirates for the first game of the Premier League season as Arsenal take on Coventry, the champions of the Premier League against the champions of the second tier. It's kick-off on TalkSport with Sky Sports. But together with now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly in minutes, like Arsenal Coventry, live tonight, streamed by internet. Terms apply. Kick-off coming next, exclusively right here on TalkSport.
Kick-off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with now. Tonight, Arsenal versus Coventry live today. 18 plus, stream by internet, terms apply.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Sarah Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with click and collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Tip lunches. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my BB one day.
Like in a moment.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix, no stopping you.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fans-only stadium-style seating. Amazing views on huge screens, and we're on the way. Lovely bit of dribbling there. She tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Stick barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the mark. And he's there. His favourite ice cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com. You know football, and the Sun knows football. So we know that you want the latest football news and analysis round the clock, whether it's the Premier League, EFL, or cup competitions. Plus, must-watch shows like Tactics Exposed from our expert journalists. We don't know if Coventry can cut it back in the big time, or whether Arsenal can retain their title, but we do know where you'll find out. Download the Sun app for fans who know football.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration, and expertise, where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You just imagine a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
The big arch just got bacon. More smokiness, more crispiness, more deliciousness. With juicy beef, cheddar cheese, and the big arch sauce. Now topped with crispy bacon. The big arch just got bacon.
So 28th of September 2026, set from 11 AM, subject to availability.
You know that feeling when your build-a-bear looks nailed on, then suddenly a late goal lets you down. With new Ghost Link from Sky Bet, that game may be down, but that doesn't mean you're out. Simply opt in and create a pre-match build-a-bet with 5 legs or more. If one leg lets you down, we'll make it vanish and pay out on the remaining legs. Games back with new Ghost Link from Sky Bet for the fans. Max 8 varies. Combined minimum odds 3 to 1. Cash bets only. Eligibility restrictions and further T&Cs apply. 18 plus. GambleAware.org.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. More fun than paying your gas bill. Kick off live on TalkSport.
Odegaard looks up, tries to curl it far post. Size back across the face of goal. Havertz is there. Park keeping out. And Arsenal lead by 2 goals to nil.
Forget about somebody wide on the left-hand side, because Christoph Solis, that's outstanding.
I thought he was playing rubbish. The dominance. I mean, if you're looking at everything, like, you know, the goal
itself from Calafiori. Great pass from Miles Lewis-Skelly, who we're trying to sell. And then you've got Solis. If we spoke outside, he could be an upgrade. They're Trossard.
Well, that's what they're hoping for. Christoph Solis starts tonight. New signing, former Norwich player under Daniel Parker. Pretty good tennis player, actually. Loves pizza as a cheat meal and got 22 goals and 29 assists across more than 50 games for Bruges last season. All the talk was of Arsenal going for Vinicius Junior. They've ended up with Solis. He doesn't look bad. And what about this guy just coming out of the tunnel in an Arsenal shirt? Look away, Villa fans. Ezri Konsa smiling, waving to the Arsenal fans as he is introduced to his new club. It's a statement of intent. This is a guy who's just been playing well for England at the World Cup. And he's been signed, and when their two centre-backs are probably fully fit, he probably won't be in the starting 11 now, Bargy.
Well, I don't know about that, but wearing them brown cords he's got on is a bit of a gamble, in my opinion. I mean, he looks massive, though, doesn't he? He's huge, you know, these Premier League players. I was looking at a man in the Coventry centre half, 6'5". He's just getting bigger and stronger. He's outstanding in the World Cup, so great signing for Arsenal.
Konsa punches the air, high-fives a few fans as he goes back down the tunnel. Konsa, 15 on his back, the new Arsenal defender. I want a quick word about the laws, the new laws. Let me quickly run through a few of them. 5-second countdowns for goal kicks. Begins when a player is judged throw-ins begins when a player is judged to be deliberately delaying the restart. That judgment of when he starts delaying is down to the referee. Substitute players have 10 seconds to leave the field at the nearest point. Under 18s, by the way, have to go off at the technical area, so some leeway there. A player must go off for 1 minute if they cause the referee to stop the game, even if they do not request treatment. To stop goalkeeper timeout, and the keeper asks for treatment. An outfield player, as chosen by the head coach, must leave the field for 1 minute or until the next break is play. 1 minute plus the next break is play. Players out for 2 yellow cards. The VAR can now look at the second portion for players shown a second yellow. An attacking foul before the ball is in play. As part of the trial, there could be a VAR review of that. Remember, Haaland on Anderson at the World Cup, Norway against England. And some new laws that are coming in that might, Alan, impact Arsenal. Holding in the penalty area, set pieces and open play. Defenders unfairly impeding an attacking player's freedom to move towards the ball. When a defender focuses on the player, not the ball, and makes no attempt to play the ball, holding. These will be penalised. Players have been told, and challenges on the goalkeeper as well. Physical contact on goalkeepers. Actually standing in the way of the keeper looks like it could be a foul this season. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how it pans out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're doing set plays, you're always looking to block the goalie in some form. So if you're going to hit it for the back post, you might have a player on the back of it. If you're going to hit it near post, you know him on the near, for example. So there's always ways of trying to get around that. And I'll be interested to see how they police that. I mean, the interesting one, and the one I'm really pleased about, is players who are not looking at the ball. You know, who are just dealing with the player. And they've got their back to the corner. That, for me, now will be a foul. And I hope to see that really policed well. Because that is, for me, just not fair play. I just don't think it's right.
What are set-piece coaches doing when they tell a defender to do that? What's the thinking there?
Well, you're trying to stop the momentum of his run, basically. Because if you just keep him on the ground, or keep yourself into his body, he can't get a leap. And he always drew it when Overbank drew some leaps. Now, Gabriel, 6'4", got a massive leap. So sometimes you have a smaller player trying to block his run, and then a bigger player picking him up for the actual delivery. All those kind of things are really important that the set-piece coach does well.
Fireworks are going up around the pitch, flames throwing into the air, and the two teams on their way out. Coventry City back in the big time with the aim of staying in the big time. Arsenal back the title last season, many are tipping them to retain it. But as we stand right now, everyone is on 0 points. And as the old saying goes, it's up for grabs now. Premier League champions Arsenal against Championship champions Coventry, live and exclusive on TalkSport with a former Premier League Manager of the Year, Alan Pardew, alongside your commentator on TalkSport. Here's Jim Prattle.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you. the briefest of summer breaks, we all meet again, refreshed and revitalised, relishing the return of the 20 protagonists. Plenty of new hands interspersed with the familiar old faces, with reputations to be enhanced, heroes to be made, and champions to be crowned. The benchmark of success varies wildly across the adversaries, but it is at this point that players and fans alike allow ourselves to indulge in optimistic fantasy, surveying the blank canvas of the new campaign, believing that this will be the year. It is the making and breaking of those dreams that so captivates us, enthralled at the prospect of 9 months of absorbing drama, of the fresh pages of history that will be written in front of our eyes and before our ears. Last season's fresh landscape quickly swathed in dominant red. Time now for the artists to get to work to see how this new picture will develop. And this is the first side that Mikel Arteta has picked as Arsenal aim to retain their league crown, something they haven't managed since the 1930s. David Raya in goal, White, Mosquera, Gabriel and Calafiore, Rice and Lewis Skelly, Saka, Erdogan, Solis, and Havertz. The bench will be Cabier, Eze, Gyökeres and Madueke, Valeri, Marino, Zubimendi, Dowden, and Pepe Malaga. Coventry City, Rushwood in goal, Van White, Thomas, Amenda and De Silva, Onyeka, Llorente, and Grimes, who's played 427 league games since his last Premier League appearance. The front three, Schauner, Sims, and Thomas Asante. Their bench, Rudoni, Sakamoto, Awonyi, and Kitching. Danny Baudier, Eccles, Tor, Harmer, and Wilson. The referee is Tom Bramall, who's only previously taken charge of one game here at the Emirates. And only 4 of Coventry's team were born the last time the Sky Blues started a Premier League season. 17 glory being certainly regarded as success for them. Will they be able to take the first small steps towards that here? A race quite like this one, the shrill sound of the whistle that signals that we are off and running, the start of another journey of unpredictability, maelstrom and magnificence between now and May. The 26-27 Premier League campaign is underway and it's live on Talk Sport. Arsenal in their familiar red and white, Coventry in their sky blue and white striped shirts, and straight away winning a corner, which they will take on the right-hand side with Matt Grimes bouncing the ball once or twice, taking it down towards the corner flag. Arsenal already ahead by this stage of the Community Shield, but with the first set piece of the new Premier League season to defend here. Bobby Thomas waiting, making a run in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. The corner not deep enough. Calafiore, who scored the early goal at Cardiff last week, heads it away. Grimes will be able to pick up the seconds and work it out towards the Coventry right, but Calafiore again calms things down, and then Rice will be able to bring it away. We're a minute in, 0-0, bright start from Coventry City, and I'm delighted to say that Alan Pardew is alongside us.
Yeah, great start by Coventry. Normal sort of start these days, kicked it down the gully, and then they had good pressure, good little bit of interplay with the good feet from Chawan down that side, won the corner, and had the first set play. But unfortunately now we are getting into Arsenal mode as they start to pass it around. This might be something we see quite a lot this evening, Jim.
Yeah, Stephen Rice is dropping between the two centre halves. Now working it out with the left-hand side. First chance for Solis to make his way forward off that left flank. He's played through the midfield for White, whose ball back inside his own half is picked up easily enough by Mosquera, but he just had to retrace his steps a little bit. Saka back for Ben White again. who may be the player that misses out when everybody is fit for Arsenal in this new look-back line now that Ezri Konsa has arrived in his £51 million move from Aston Villa. He'll be wearing 15 for Arsenal. But signed too late to be included here. It's Lewis Skelly. Just loses out in the midfield with an opportunity there for Onyeka to chip it over the top for Ellis Sims. That pass didn't come off, but they are going to be able to bring it forward here quickly with Thomas Asante. Coventry midway inside the Arsenal half, then working back towards halfway, and Grimes sensibly plays it back for Ralamanda. Ralamanda goes back to his goalkeeper Rushworth, who's got the time to take the second touch he needs, firing it for off the top of Sims' head. And Chandler up against Calafiori loses the battle and Arsenal win it back.
Yeah, there's a great opportunity for Coventry there. Centre half, Gabriel stepped in, and Sims was in, but unfortunately, Urenki, the new Danish Player of the Year, who's come to this Coventry scene, a lot of big hopes at him, just underhit the pass, and unfortunately the chance was gone. And Arsenal beginning to, as you say, kind of get the tempo back into their favour.
Okay, Urenki played against England in the World Cup, full 90 minutes in that game for Ghana. They picked him up for £22.5 million in Nordsjælland in Denmark. And as Alan says, he was the player of the year in Danish football. He still played fewer than 60 senior club games in his career. Oscar chipping one over the top here. Bobby Thomas, the former Burnley man, is a giant in the heart of the Coventry back line. He took a couple of steps back, was able to head it down for Van Ewijk. One of the best players in the Championship last season. Back from him to Grimes, to Thomas again. And here's Rushworth, who has made his move from Brighton to Coventry, a permanent one now, and a £22 million deal. He played every league game in Coventry's Championship winning team last year. And he's driven it forward left-footed here. Carl Rushworth out towards the Sky Blues right-hand side. Headed down, Urenki very quickly on the scene, picking it up, wearing 8 for the Sky Blues, laying it back for Grimes. Grimes ball out towards the right-hand side. A chance for Chandler. He's worked it back. Grimes again, heavily involved in these early stages. His crossfield ball easily chested down though by Saka, who can bring it away. And now Ødegaard will be able to bring it forward. And drive with a little bit of intent in the Coventry territory. Played out towards Solis. Greek international, new signing for Arsenal, cutting it onto his right foot. Can he get a shot in? He can, but it's dipped over the bar and wide away of Rushworth's left-hand post. 5 minutes gone, 0-0. That's the first starting goal for either team.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to see that at the start of a Premier League game. Your full-back backing off, and ending up in the box. You've got no chance then. And Solis come inside and really perhaps had time to do better with his shot. That was Van Ewijk, who used to play for me at Den Haag when he was a very, very young player. So nice to see him back in there and made his way up to the Premier League.
Yes, in his 4th season with the Sky Blues now. Firm favourite amongst their support with nearly 150 Coventry games behind him. Thought he was good. I didn't realise that it was you that had set him on his path to glory. Here's Saka, running towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to feather a ball inside the penalty area. And just crowded out of it. He's ended up face down in the turf as Coventry bring it away. Gabriel picks up a pass from Mosquera, who mopped up for him, and now goes out towards Calafiori. You listen to Arsenal Coventry on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly in minutes. Like Arsenal Coventry Live, right now streamed via internet. Terms apply. Arsenal bringing it forward. Here's Rice, Ødegaard, showing for the ball near the edge of the penalty area. Looking in left-footed, square to his left full, Lewis Skelly. Arsenal such an impressive record when Lewis Skelly has started in midfield. He never did so in his senior career until May. And that's his position again alongside Declan Rice, who's played it forward now. Solis making around on the inside right turn, in towards Saka, who stabbed at it. And it's a crucial deflection away by Amenda to put it out for an Arsenal corner.
Yeah, it's good play by Arsenal. A very patient build-up. And as you say, Lewis Skelly was at the heart of that. It's great to see him do so well. You know, those rumours of it maybe going. I'm pleased to see him in an Arsenal shirt tonight. I hope he stays at the football club. But Coventry have done well. If I was Frank, I'll be really pleased for a big test here. First set play for Arsenal.
Which will be taken on the right. Bukayo Saka, who Scored a hat-trick for England on his last start for club and country. Just spots it now. He's taken 3 deliberate steps back. There's nobody right in front of Rushford, the goalkeeper. Lewis Skelly making a dart in near post run. The ball is played short into his feet. Saka back for Ben White. White to the edge of the area. And Solis through an effort that was kicked away by Grimes near the foot of the post. With Rushford probably beaten. And Chowder on the Coventry right will try and be able to get the ball forward now. 0-0, but it was a good set piece for Arsenal.
It was a brilliant set piece. It actually worked perfect. They played a little 3 or 4 passes to get it to the edge, and he should have done so much better with a shot, but it was a brilliant set play.
It's fantastic movement inside the penalty area. White pulling it back. Solis had so much room on the edge of the box, but just really couldn't put his foot through it. Erdegaard now with a little reverse ball, and Coventry can deal with that threat. In fact, the offside flag is up to Sky Blue's free kick. But we were talking in the build-up, Alan, you and Adrian, about the fact that you need something different now with these new rules that are coming in for set pieces, and that was a very fluid one right off the bat.
That's a good point, Jim. You know, coaches have to adapt to the new rules, and sometimes it takes a little while for you to really kind of grasp what's needed. Arteta's gone straight with a well-worked free kick corner there, routine. As you say, didn't put it in the box, worked it, and we might be seeing a lot more of that.
So here's Solis again. And his Premier League debut was here for Norwich back in 2021. And it has it again, his Arsenal Premier League debut. Back for Rice. Pinged it over the bar. And Arsenal with 3 or 4 presentable hard chances inside the opening 9 minutes here on TalkSport.
I wonder what Frank thought of that shot, because that was his game, wasn't it, there? That was 30 yards. Plenty of room in front of him. He should have done better there, Rice. I fancy Frank would have smashed it in the top corner.
Another thing now, I haven't got the numbers in front of me, but just how good Frank Lampard's goal return was in his career. I mean, in round numbers, it was about 200 in 700 games, which is extraordinary. I think he got a few more goals, I think nearer 220, 230, but for a midfielder to go 1 in 3 throughout his career
is outstanding. But he had an interview this week where they said who was the Premier League player most like himself, and he said there's none, because that role is more or less gone, where he had that freedom to get in the box, arrive all the time, you know, from a number sort of 8 position rather than a number 10.
Opportunity for Coventry to bring it forward here with the Silva. Sticks his foot on the ball and turns it back for Frank Onyeka, who's got more Premier League experience than anybody else in this Coventry team. Improved in his years at Brentford. Ball worked out on the right, but the Sky Blues having to go all the way back. Rushford controlling it. Ball towards Menda. Swiss centre-half with the ball between the 2 Arsenal centre-halves at the other end, but no chance for Addison to be able to run under that, and Arsenal have been able to pick it up easily. Now Rice can bring it forward, and Erdegaard has got room. And to his right-hand side for Saka in the white boots, running towards the edge of the penalty area. He's in the box now. Little deflection on the cross, which loops onto the roof of Rushford's net. And out of play for another Arsenal corner.
Yeah, it's interesting that most I've seen Frank gesture is actually to play the ball backwards. He obviously wants to try and control the game, keep the ball. So they're trying to draw Arsenal out. Unfortunately, the centre-half made a bad pass, and Arsenal had a bit of space to put this attack together. And now they've got another set play. No Declan Rice on it.
Plenty of invention about the last one. It's going to be another Saka delivery. Could be an in-swing, and they might look to work it short again. Last time they worked it short with Lewis Skelly making a sprint for the far side of the 6-yard box out towards the near post. No sign of that movement this time. Saka clipping it in, left-footed, more direct. Rushford almost got caught in the wrong position, and the ball had actually curved slightly behind him, but he stuck his hands out. He was well protected by his big centre-halves. He was able to claim the ball. Now given the count by referee Tom Bramwell, but Jared Gillen, I beg your pardon, but he is able to get the ball forward quickly, and Coventry win a free kick just inside the right half after a push there on Chownex. 0-0, we played 11 minutes here on TalkSport, and here's Alan Pardew.
Listen, you know, when you've just come up to the Premier League and you're 11 minutes in and set play and your goalie comes out amongst bodies to collect it, that was absolutely brilliant. And I've seen him a couple of times last year. His left foot is magnificent. You'll see that they'll work it back to him, and his long passes are really, really efficient, and he's got great quality.
Well, there's been a lot of debate as to who England's next #1 goalkeeper might be. I'm not sure it is necessarily cut and dried. It's just a two-horse race between Dean Henderson and James Trafford. I think Rushworth, if he has a good season this time round, might just about be able to work his way into that conversation. Here's Amenda. He's got the ball inside the centre circle and plays it down to the Coventry left-hand side for Jay De Silva. Making his Premier League debut, but a veteran of around 250 championship appearances. Excellent cross-field ball from him, brought down by Van Ewijk. Now Coventry get it 20 yards inside the Arsenal half. It's Grimes. Puts his foot on the ball, more than happy to work it back, finding Thomas. Thomas to Amenda. And now back for Bobby Thomas again. Thomas taking it out towards the right flank. Didn't make a Premier League appearance in his time at Burnley, although he was on the bench a number of times, but featuring in the top division for the very first time in his career today. Rushworth drives it forward. And towards the Coventry right, headed away easily, but out for a throw that'll be taken by the Sky Blues. It's not been one of those games where they've been having to cede possession to Arsenal. They're trying to get their foot on the ball as much as they can.
Well, I think very interesting because Thomas is, when you look at his average position in the game, he's always deepest player on the right-hand side because actually that gives them a nice balance because the goalie comes out the left side with that great left foot. So they've got great delivery from right and left side of the box, of the pitch. So I can see why, he ends up being so deep, Thomas, at times.
Arsenal got it, winning a free kick just outside their own penalty area. And Moscow has gone forward. So nudge ball towards Lewis Scout. Alongside Declan Rice in the heart of the midfield. If you're just joining us, Bruno Guimaraes for Arsenal, whose Premier League debut for the club, his home debut, put on ice because of a thigh problem that he sustained in the Community Shield last week, severity of which is still unknown, not believed to be a major problem. Here's White, long crossfield ball from him, looking for Solace, and on the far touchline, the Arsenal left. Well defended by Van Ewijk, right in front of those Arsenal fans, and then as he tried to clear, he fell for Calafiori, and it's taken into the net by Kai Havertz. And that is the difference between Premier League and Championship football. One half mistake can prove to be so costly. And Arsenal are off and running in the defence of their title, the 26-27, with a Kai Havertz goal. 15 minutes in, it's Arsenal 1, Coventry 0.
I'm not feeling that might be Havertz's first touch, because he hasn't really been involved in the game at all. But there was a mistake in the right-hand side there. The right back got himself, tries to be a bit too clever. And as you quite rightly say, Jim, you can't make mistakes like that at this level. The championship, you might get away with it. He kind of tries to be clever. He's trying to get it up the line. It ricochets, then it breaks free. And that's on the edge of the box. To be fair, he's very, very cool and tucks it in the bottom left-hand corner of the goalie. And it's a great finish. 1-0 to Arsenal.
Well, he's now scoring 3 successive games, Kai Havertz, all in different competitions, the Champions League final, the Community Shield, and week 1 of the new Premier League campaign. His 38th Arsenal goal. And Coventry find themselves behind. 25 years and 3 months since their last Premier League match. And they're trailing to Arsenal by a goal to nil. No repeat then of an epic first weekend fixture back, way back, 1993, when Nicky Quinn scored a hat-trick over the road at Highbury for Coventry, who won 3-0 at Arsenal on the opening day of the campaign. And that's Arsenal taking control of this. 15th minute goal from Havertz. They lead 1-0, and they've now got a free kick inside the centre circle after a foul on Miles Lewis Scout.
Yeah, Friday night here at the Emirates, and you're 1-0 down to the Arsenal. You just come up. It really is going to be important in their mentality now. That Frank sees a good reaction here, because this stadium will start rocking in a minute. And if they could get some pressure, Arsenal, Coventry could fold. So it's a very, very important period for Coventry.
Well, it's a great spot from you. It wasn't, in fact, his first touch. It was only his second. And then it's given the Gunners the lead. Saka. Playing the ball back towards Ben White. White rolling in towards the edge of the area. A little layup here. Rice to his left-hand side. Solis taking it on. Caught in two minds. Lays it off. Rice fully back in. And then cleared by the retreating Thomas. Alex is offside. Can't make a move for the ball that was played out towards him on the left flank. Coventry let it run out of play for a throw. Van A. White will take. Arsenal 1, Coventry 0. And you win TalkSport on week 1 of the Premier League season. So much more to come, with the only stage of bringing you the first 2 games of the new Premier League campaign. Tomorrow, the build-up starts at 11, ahead of a 12:30 kick-off. Hull against Manchester United with Steve Bruce, the former Hull manager of Manchester United legend, alongside Sam Matterface. In the East Riding of Yorkshire tomorrow, 11 the build-up, the 12:30 kick-off. Hull, Manchester United. Arsenal leading this 1-1 now.
Yeah, interesting to see the assistant come out to Frank there. That's what a good assistant do. You know, this is a really difficult period. He's probably just jogging Frank's mind a little bit. That we need to be solid here, or giving him some kind of message that he thinks is important. That's where you get a good assistant. Give you good information there. Because sometimes in a game like this, you can get lost. Particularly when you've lost a goal. So, trying to get themselves back in order at Coventry.
Lewis Scully, with time in the midfield. Lays the ball back for Mosquera. White can nudge it forward. And Lewis Scully found a touch by Solis to flicking on Erdegaard. Havertz giving chase, but the defender had enough of a start. Was able to just shepherd it to the on-rushing Rushworth. And I think the flag might have come up anyway had Havertz got to it first. Rushworth with the ball at his feet. And then driving it again. Left foot. It's another good delivery down the left flank. And flicked on well. Ellis Sims trying to get there ahead of Gabriel, and did, but caught it. As he went for a 50-50, the Arsenal centre-back is down injured. There's a free kick to the Gunners. He's smacking the turf with the flat of his left hand. Gabriel just caught above the shin bone by the look of it. And maybe in need of a bit of treatment here.
Yeah, it looks like he trod on his toe today, which is really painful at that sort of level. Pace. I mean, he's a big lad, Sims. You wouldn't want him treading on anything. At least of all your little toe. I mean, when you look at Coventry, you know, sometimes the physicality of a championship team is very, very evident. But this side is a big side. You know, there's good power in the team. And when we look at the success of Sunderland last year, that's what they really did well. They put power and pace into their team. And this Coventry team, from what I've seen so far, have got that. It's just now they've got to have that mentality to go with it.
I mentioned this whole Manchester United on TalkSport tomorrow. Following that, of course, Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce and Charlie Allen, the fastest goal service anywhere on your dials. Adrian goes around the grounds of the Premier League and EFL, including Everton Palace, Ipswich, Sunderland and Forest League. More Premier League action on Sunday with Sam Matterface at Game Day Live, including Liverpool's trip to Newcastle. And breaking news from Merseyside tonight, Curtis Jones has completed his move to Inter Milan. So Curtis Jones is the latest Englishman to end up at Inter Milan after Jet Spence and John Stones over this summer. That move's been completed in the last half hour or so. Arsenal able to bring the ball forward. They're leading 1-0. Solis coming in off the left flank, goes back to Declan Rice. And Saka will be able to pick up the loose ball on the Arsenal right. And Silva trying to show him one way, then the other, and Saka did brilliantly. Got it past him, lays it back for Erdegaard. Lewis Skelly, Calafiori helping it on. Havertz chasing after it, led into Thomas, who took the invitation to go to ground in front of the Coventry fans and win a free kick. Some of the football, though, from close quarters has been really easy on the eye for Arsenal.
Yeah, Lewis Skelly in particular has been terrific, I think. You know, when you think he's keeping out Zimmermendi, Mourinho, Eze, you know, it does talk sort of volumes about the quality that he has. And it just seems bizarre to me that the future is still not quite secured here. I would say one thing about Coventry, which they can't do in the second half, and that's the two fullbacks to keep backing off. And if you're going to back off, then Saka and Solis are going to just pick out passes until they go into the goal mouth. And that's what they did just then. They nearly got second.
And Arsenal bringing forward again with Rice. They're well on top. They're good value for the 1-0 advantage. Odegaard full Rice. Still he goes. Off to his left-hand side. Solis drilling it in. Saka! 2-0. Rashford got a hand to the initial cross. Could do nothing about it. Just beat it into the path of the Bukayo Saka. Had all the time in the world to take a touch and tap it in. Arsenal 2 up inside half an hour. Coventry waited 25 years for a return to the elite. It isn't always going to be like this, but it's got the makings of being a chastening start.
Well, you know, it's easy to kind of pick faults in Coventry's defending there, but that was slick play by Arsenal. Some really good stuff. And in the end, the goal is had to come out and intercept the cross, and it's fed it straight into Saka's half, and he's just steered in the goal. But it was a good bit of play. Odegaard and Rice combining, and then it went out to the left-hand side to Solis, who just put a cross in. Didn't look nothing on the cross, really. They perhaps could do better, Coventry, on that, but good move by Arsenal. They need this, and they're quite comfortable now at 2-0. This is a real test now for Frank and his team.
Well, 5 years ago, you'll remember that Arsenal lost on the opening day to newly promoted Brentford. It's very hard already to make a case for Arsenal losing at home to a newly promoted side this evening. They're 2 goals to the good. They've had 3 or 4 other half-decent chances that they haven't been able to take or hit the target with. Coventry City finding we're going tough. It is the club side have only lost 1 of the last 16 games. They were beaten at home by Southampton back in March. And a loss away from home in 7, but so much work to do here. Arsenal 2, Coventry 0 here on TalkSport. Declan Rice in possession, midway inside his own half, down towards Ben White. White again for Rice. And Lewis Skelly lost it. He's endeavoured to win it back. And has actually done enough in there on the Edgar and Sims. Might have made more of that for Coventry after looking a gift horse in the mouth. Arsenal have got it. And the Sky Blues, who played well the first 6 or 7 minutes, returned the game to Arsenal, but they've just retreated into their shell. And they can't get any kind of football in this at all at the moment.
No, they're starting to look like a team that have just had 4 or 5 additions into the team. You know, they don't look cohesive. They're not quite familiar with each other all over the pitch. The 2 centre-halves, one's dropping off, one's coming short. They're getting pulled around a little bit.
Now, Ben White's had a good run down the Arsenal right. He's gone to ground. The assistant referee had a perfect view and said there was no foul. It's an inquest from White and Kai Havertz, but Gary Beswick, who kept his flag down, probably got it right. White was looking for it. That's something that they are trying to stamp out, and we've been promised this week by Howard Webb. They had a pro ref that will be the case. So that kind of incident is going to be stamped out. And it's just keeping that higher bar consistently high over the course of the season. That's what I think all fans want. Coventry getting a free kick here inside their own half. And maybe, if they get away with it, just taking a little bit of a breather. 2-0 to Arsenal, 25 minutes gone. Havertz on 15 and Saka on 22. Amanda driving the ball forward, 6'4", who's the shorter of the 2 Coventry centre-halves. Oh, now Sims didn't quite react quickly enough as Amanda got the ball down the inside left channel and turned the Arsenal back line. Solis has covered a lot of ground and comes back and gets his foot on it, and then Lewis Skelly finds himself a yard of space and 2 or 3 seconds in the midfield quite expertly. Havertz has got it now, going in off the right flank, knocks it square for the blonde-haired Odegaard. Sliding challenge comes in to try and win it back from Thomas Asante. Chandler loses the seconds in midfield. Lewis Skelly brought down again, and that'll be a free kick, and might be the first yellow card of the new season. It is.
He's good in those little battles. Lewis Skelly does really, really well. You know, he's not the quickest, but he's up quick, he's strong. He's got a low centre of gravity. He's come out of that tussle, and then he's been pulled back by Urenki, and he's finding it difficult out there, Urenki. You know, coming into this level. top level of Premier League from Danish football. He's finding out what the difference is.
So it's the first player in the book. And Arsenal have a free kick. 20 yards, not quite 20 yards, outside the Coventry penalty area. Everybody in sky blue and white back behind the ball, as you can imagine. Odegaard just rolls it out of the left flank. Solis will pick it up. First time ball down the left-hand side of the area. Havertz tries to get there. He's missed strides. And the free kick goes Coventry's way inside their box. What's Frank Lampard need to do? What's the message that he needs to get across here?
There's no message you can do at this stage. You just got to get to half time. It literally is like get a message to your lieutenant out there. You know, let's get an extra pass in or whatever, and slow the game down a little bit, because you need that kind of professionalism here to get through to half time. What have we got left? Is it another 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's a long time.
And that clock ticking pretty slowly from a Coventry City perspective at the moment. Thomas handing the ball away from halfway. Haven't Showers pulled it down for Urenchi. Garnet going to his right-hand side. Chowner. The paid Burnley £20-odd million for. Back out of the right. Van White. Now to the feet of Grimes, the veteran of this Coventry side. Possession's been turned over. And Arsenal can bring it away with Odegaard. Declan Rice showing him where he wants the ball to be played. Odegaard put it there. The only problem was Urenchi saw the signal and was there first. He's held it back for Rushell, who will clear. Sims chasing after this, getting himself isolated against Mosquera. Got the top of his right boot to it. Coventry somehow end up with the seconds. Mikel Arteta wasn't happy about that. Chowner knocking it in. Thomas Sandy coming in off the left. It's been flicked away from him. And then Chowner having gravitated from the right flank out to the left has then given a free kick away. About 10 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area. The Gunners taking it quickly. Leading by 2-0, and clearly with a real appetite for destruction here. Coming forward again towards the edge of the penalty area. Calafiori, Lewis Skelly, Odegaard edge of the D. Oh, definitely flick forward. Havertz using his strength in an offside position as he went shoulder to shoulder and then 5-5 with a fender. And it will be a free kick to Coventry inside their own box. They've lived through the half-hour mark, Alan Pardew, to Arsenal.
A couple of worrying signs for me there if I was the away manager, because his front three were really slow to recover there. You can't be slow against the champions of the Premier League. You've got to get back double quick and make sure you're doubling up with your defenders. They were very, very slow to react there, and Arsenal had a bit of time. Unfortunately, they just strayed offside, and the attack went begging.
Rushell taking the free kick. It's headed away by Ben White. Not joining the seconds in midfield. They've been able to do that a little bit more readily over the last 3-4 minutes or so, but nothing's come of it. And David Rise, I've had a save to make so far, picks up the ball on the right-hand edge of his penalty area and sends a delicious chip ball out of Calafiori. Calafiori now making a run from left back out of possession through into a central area in support of Kai Havertz. The ball played back to Lewis Skelly. Mosquera to Lewis Skelly and now to Rice. Rice in space on the left-hand side as the Arsenal substitutes set out to warm up, and they're a generous round of applause. Rice, right-footed, a little bit too straight the crossfield pass. Thomas Sandy can hand it away. Comes back to Ben White, up forward from him. Odegaard picks it up, but he's got his back to the direction of play. Able to run round it under no pressure, finding Lewis Skelly. Ben White in the corner of the penalty area as Arsenal look for a third here. There's an exchange of passes with Kai Havertz. Back from White. Odegaard's got it again. White trying to sneak surreptitiously in behind Thomas Sante, who's almost part of the back six for Coventry here at times. The Gunners take a couple of steps back to take a few more forward. Saka back for Rice. They're 10 yards outside the Coventry penalty area now. Odegaard to White. Saka. Rice making a run. Created a little bit of space for Saka. Lewis Skelly working it back for Odegaard. Odegaard down towards White. Arsenal thinking the moment for the potential execution of a perfect pass, but they're just going sideways and backwards at the moment. Calafiori back inside his own half. Mosquera on the edge of the centre circle goes straight to his left for Gabriel. It's 2-0 to Arsenal. Played 32 minutes. Havertz and Saka with a couple of goals in a 6.5 minute spell. Started at quarter hour. Saka to Rice. Now Mosquera. Waiting for Rice to make a move ahead of him. Rolls it into his feet. Rice looking a little bit of direction of traffic. Passes it to Lewis Skelly. Now Rice down towards Erdegaard. 5 yards inside the Coventry half. So plenty of possession for Arsenal at the moment. But then probably having a little collective breather in possession. Mosquera now will play a ball between the lines. Solis coming into an infield position to be able to get on the end of it. Looks like a fine acquisition. But with no disrespect, I think probably an upgrade on Trossard on the Arsenal left.
Top assist last year, Trossard. Just saying.
Yeah, stand by it. We'll see. Here's Saka. Right hand side of the box. Trying to take on the Silva. Pull back. Erdegaard's all too easy, but Ben White, who has an effort that is then deflected and cleared by the Silva. But they're able to find feet with far too much ease inside the penalty area for Coventry's liking. White now gets a crossing. That's deflected. Thomas Asante took the pace out of it, and Rushford will be able to come and make a comfortable save. 12 minutes to go to half time. Good delivery from Rushford. This time he's bowled it out. Thomas Asante coming in off the left-hand side. Little reverse ball in towards Ellis Sims. Sims has got it on the left-hand side of the penalty area, but he's got very little in the way of support. Doesn't need any as he turns his way past Gabriel, who has fouled him right on the edge of the penalty area. The left-hand edge of the box to yellow card for Gabriel, and a free kick no more than about 3 feet outside the penalty area, maybe not even that.
Well, hats off to Ellis Sims there. That was a brilliant bit of play. He looked like he was nowhere to go. You're thinking, oh, come on, he needs a Coventry player to support him. And then he just turned so quickly for a big man. And he was caught out completely, Gabriel, and he's been booked. This is a great position for Coventry. If ever you needed a lift, it'd be nice to get a goal-bound effort here.
Really good side from set pieces last season. What will they be able to muster? It's Grimes that stands over it. They've got 2 unmarked on the edge of the penalty area, Urechi and De Silva. The 2 centre-halves amongst 5 inside the box. It's hit in deep, but pretty easily headed away twice. And now the counter-attack could be on. Havertz trying to barrel his way forward. But the retreating Grimes did enough. Now Coventry can smuggle it back to Rushford, who will clear. Solis trying to get to a loose ball in the midfield. And he's managed that. Now Lewis Skelly will be able to play it forward. Havertz back out towards Solis. And Solis caught by Van White, who's having a difficult evening so far. Solis has stayed down, and it's a free kick to Arsenal 20 outside the penalty area. 10 to go to the break, 2-0 to the Gunners.
Yeah, it's going to be a long 10 minutes for Frank. And he's got a few issues going on here in this team. But at least there was a bit of offensive action. Great throw out from the keeper that set that attack. And then there's that bit of skill. That will give him a little bit of belief, I think, hopefully, because they were just starting to lose momentum in the game. So that will just hopefully, as I say, help them get to 45 minutes of a 2-0 scoreline. I can't see them scoring, by the way, at the moment. But they do not want to concede another.
Arsenal trying to mastermind this free kick. Gabriel and Mosquera, the 2 centre-halves, making a run from the right-hand side of the box into a central area. There was no delivery, it was not sure. Rice to White, now out towards Saka. Sims finding himself in at left back for a moment. Saka taking him on the outside, beating it. Sims has had a nibble. Saka went down inside the penalty area, then got back to his feet. Probably sensing that he wasn't going to get a penalty. I wonder if it stayed down there, what the decision might have been. They end up getting a corner out of it.
Well, that just goes to show you Saka is like one of those great personalities that we love, isn't he? Because he could easily have gone down there. And I've seen many players in the Premier League over the years who would have happily gone down there. But he stayed on his feet, bless him. And he saved a great situation for Coventry there. Because Sims definitely looked like he made contact with it.
Come back to that in a moment. Saka will come across to take the corner. The score of Arsenal's second goal going to be the provider of the third. Be another It's variation on the theme for Arsenal. Plenty of movement in towards the near post. It's into a congested 6-yard box and hard clear. Poor touch though from Chowder, who didn't seem to be too aware of his surroundings. He's lost possession. Odegaard bending it in towards the far post. Thomas heads it away for Coventry. Solis down towards the corner flag, picking it up, faced up by Thomas. Trying to drive inside the box. He's in the penalty area. He's turned one way, then another, chipping it in and headed away again by more last-ditch Coventry defending. But he can't get out, and Rice will find Solis, who's checked back onto his right foot. He's enjoying this. Calafiori with a left-footed effort. That's blocked on the edge of the 6. And Lewis Skelly feels like goal number 3 is only a matter of time. Crowd warming to Solis as the ball comes in, and it's knocked away by Grimes this time. And Thomas Asante is brought down by the retreating Declan Rice, who can stop a counter-attack in its infancy. But every time Solis gets the ball, the crowd really relishing it.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the fullback's making it fairly easy for him, but he's still enjoying himself, and the crowd are loving it because he's being so positive. There were so many times last year you see Arsenal, the white players got it, come back into midfield, round it went again, out to the other side, then back round again to the other winger. And what most fans want to see is at some point a white player taking the fullback off, and Solis has done that all night tonight. So I think that bodes well for this Arsenal team. I think they needed someone with that kind of positivity to complement Saka on this side.
Possession at the moment 70-30 in Arsenal's favour. They've had 8 of the 9 shots that we've seen tonight, and Sky Blues' sole effort wasn't on target. Very clearly they're not going to be judged on what happens this evening, and this isn't the kind of fixture that's going to define their season. Their match at home to Hull next week, far more significant in that, you would imagine. It's a difficult start for Coventry because their next away game is at Man City, and then they've got Brighton at home. So it's a baptism of fire, really. It just puts more pressure on that match against the Tigers next Saturday.
When you get promoted and you look at that fixture list, I used to say, put it away. Just put it away. Let's just worry about when we turn up. Because you can never see 3 points. It's always looks a bit tricky.
Well, we got a stack of goals last season. 97 in the league in Cov. That was the best in all 4 divisions. And in the 21st century, all 6 teams who have scored 95 or more in the Championship have gone up and have stayed up as well. And the one thing you would say, I don't think it was a vintage Championship campaign last year, and I'm not decrying Coventry's achievements in any shape or form by saying that. I think they would have got promoted most years. I think they're a good side to come out of the Championship, but their 97 goals might not have been quite that many in some other years. All right? This awkward start of the season notwithstanding, pretty confident they will be able to stay up. Here's Thomas. They're not going to fall up Coventry right, but he's got the angle on that pass wrong as he looked for Chowder, and it's gone straight out. And it's an Arsenal throw. 5 to go to half-time, but it's 2-0 to the Gunners.
Yeah. Frank can be pleased, I think, at the moment, because Arsenal look like they're settling for just the 2. You know, they're not pushing. And that's really a nice feeling, actually, when you're on the sideline and you're 2-0 down, and the other side are not pushing for another goal. So at least you can get in at half-time and get some work done. 3 or 4 ideas for your half-time.
Russian will chip the ball out of the right. And here's Milafane White. And the Dutchman can take it forward. And he's been allowed to progress a good 30-40 yards upfield. An exchange of passes with Chowder. Back to Grimes. Grimes to Thomas. It's on the edge of the centre circle as he plays the ball back out towards Matt Grimes. Arsenal allowing Coventry possession here. It's all in the Gunners' territory, but very much in the midfield third of the pitch. Amenda. Down to Thomas Asante. Thomas Asante able to turn, clip it down towards De Silva. Back to Thomas Asante again, rolling into the feet of Ellis Sims up to the penalty area. This is much better. Chowder. Out on the right is Ballet He's on the corner of the penalty area as he picks up possession. It's laid back to Luke Chowder again. Chowner to his left. Rankonieka coming onto it. Didn't think about a shot. De Silva will clip a ball inside the area, but is easily headed away at the far post. Little header back in, and an overhead kick that ends up on the roof of the net. Chowner with a real high tariff attempt. And it looks like it was sailing well over, but it died horribly on David Wright, who had to take a couple of nervy steps back right at the last, and was grateful to ensure that that did dip over the bar.
That doesn't surprise me about Chowner. He looks like one of those sort of hit and miss players. He's done some unbelievable things in that far corner, and yet other times he looks really raw, and his defensive work isn't great. He's going to be a bit of a maverick, I think. But that was a decent effort.
Well, this Coventry starting 11 have got 4 Premier League goals in their history between them, and Chowner's got 2 of those. Both hoping for their first top flight goal today since Mustafa Hadji scored for the Sky Blues at Villa. And they went 2-0 up. Sky Blues fans will remember this. 2-0 up. Ended up losing 3-2, and they were sent down by Villa that day. And Hadji got both of the goals. Haven't scored a top flight goal since then. Gabriel playing it out towards Solis. We've got 2 minutes to go at half time. Here at the Emirates on TalkSport, it is still 2-0 as it's been for the last 20 minutes. You're listening to Arsenal Coventry on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. And Ben White will play it forward now for Saka on the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Chopping and changing direction. Got past De Silva, ball inside the boxes, half clear. And then Chowner to Sims, who spins it out to the right, and Chowner is brisk, and he gets to the loose ball, head of Gabriel. Urenchi making a run ahead of it. Coventry maintaining possession, forced back by a diligent work off the ball from the Gunners midfield. And as it goes back to Grimes, he's just art one over the top, which is not gone within 20 yards of any of his teammates.
Yeah, that's a championship pass. Just set back for the midfielder, and he turned it around the corner. You can't do that at this level. That pass isn't going to work.
Here's White. For Arsenal, it's not going to be too much time to be added at the end of this first half. Maybe only a minute. Rice siphoning the ball out towards Solis. He's that buzz again of expectation when he picks up possession. Calafiori making a run outside him. Solis coming into a more central area. He's gone down. Arsenal still got possession. Referee thought about it. The last play to go on. Odegaard through the 6-yard box, and the Mendes there knocks it away and puts it behind for another Arsenal corner. They're 4.
Yeah, some of their attacking play reminded me of Man City 2 or 3 years ago. Their little interplay around down the side of the boxes has been really good tonight. Particularly down this right-hand side, Odegaard, Saka, and Bats has been joining in as well. It's been really problematic for Coventry because they're getting outnumbered. Then they're just sliding crosses across. And at the moment, hopefully, Coventry will get to just the 2-0.
So a couple of minutes added at the end of this first half. They start with another Arsenal corner. Saka's gone short. It's found Odegaard, corner of the box. Back for Saka again. Got himself back onside. Space for Odegaard. Left-footed effort. And it's taking a little nick as it spins wide of the near post and out for another corner.
I think we must have had like 8, 9 set plays tonight, of which Arsenal have played 6, 7 short, which they definitely didn't do last year. So maybe those rule effects are starting to have an impact straight away with the champions. It's interesting.
Interesting to get your thoughts on half-time. Whether you think that the game is better for it as well, as Saka prepares to take this latest one. Lewis Skelly making another brisk run. And it has gone short again. Into Odegaard. Back for Saka. Saka to the edge of the penalty area. It's Rice this time. Just wide. Well, there's a number of times that Arsenal have worked pretty much that same corner or a variation on it, and Coventry just don't pick up the man on the edge of the box. And Rice has only put that about a foot more than 2 wide of the far post.
When it came back to him, I was assuming it was a goal, if I'm honest, because Declan from that position is pretty efficient. Yeah, they've really worked the corners well today. Coventry are obviously thinking it's coming in the box. Probably worked all week on Gabriel dealing with the height that Arsenal have, and they've just changed it up. And that's what happens at this level. You know, you're always getting asked different questions.
Rush was ball forward, didn't get much distance on him actually.
No.
Almost as if he was firing it into the teeth of the fighting wind. And he's with a better clearance this second time, fights to Silva, chests it down, and Mender knocking it forward. Erdegaard stretches out and plays a right-footed ball into Coventry territory. The catch is Kai Havertz offside, and that's going to be half-time. And a good ovation from the fans of the champions after what they've seen in the opening 45 minutes. Kai Havertz scoring in a third successive Gunners game. He's on 2 already in this new campaign, with Bukayo Saka adding a second. Coventry have had no answer to it. Arsenal with all the possession, shot count in double figures. Coventry have had 2 speculative efforts, no more than that. Chasing start for them. They trail Arsenal by 2 goals to them.
You know what, every time Frank Lampard was in his technical area for most of the first half, every time he went back to the bench, I thought he was just going to grab a white towel and throw it onto the pitch, because that's been so one-sided. There is a grand canyon between these 2 sides, and you can look at it one of 2 ways. You can say, well, Coventry, I'm going to have a tougher game than away at the champions this season. Or you can say they look like they're in for a very, very tough season. Based on that, I think I'm looking at the latter, but it's too easy for Arsenal. Coventry are making it too easy for them, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're making some errors, particularly in the back 4. Manda, who's come into the team, looks uneasy. The big Swiss back, centre-back. They just look like, you know, sometimes when you've got new signings into a team that have been successful, you know, you're hoping those new players are going to take you up. But sometimes it looks like the cohesion goes. And that's what it looks like happened to Coventry tonight. They don't look cohesive. They don't look like they got familiarity in kind of areas of the pitch. Ryan's has been quiet for a captain. I was expecting to get an extra pass in, maybe try and take some heat out of the game. He hasn't done that. They've had a couple of moments, Adrian, that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Other than that, Arsenal could be 3-4.
They've got 37 more games after this, so plenty of points to play for. You don't know what's going to happen, but if we take a look at the 11, nothing's stuck to Ellis Sims, and he's not really been a threat. The 2 wide players, I agree with you about Chan. I mean, he looks like a maverick, but you can't really afford too many low-key games from your Mavericks. Thomas Asante's barely been involved other than trying to defend, and he's not doing that particularly well with respect. The midfield 3 are being completely ripped to shreds by basically 2, really. Miles Lewis-Skelly and Declan Rice. I know Odegaard's doing great stuff further forward, but those 2 are absolutely bossing a midfield 3 for Coventry. And defensively, they seem all over the place. The distribution from Rushworth is a positive, but I'm really clutching at straws there. I don't know if it is a free hit or whether they just start their season against Hull next Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. How concerned should Frank Lampard be?
Well, there's certainly a few things at half-time that I think he needs to address. One would be, when the ball's in a tussle situation or as a turnover, you've got to keep it better than they're doing. They're just turning it back to Arsenal, so that's a massive problem. The wide players, the full-backs, are not engaging Arsenal's wide players at all. They're backing off. You can't do that at this level. So there's 2 fundamentals that are going to cost you the game. Recovery runs from the forward players must be, you know, you just come up. You got to run back like you mean it. Like your life depends on it when you're Arsenal on a Friday night on the first game. They're not doing that. So there's lots of things. Professionally, for a team that have been champions, they've not shown enough nous for me. I pick out Grimes, the captain, the centre-back, the goalkeeper. They need to slow it down. They need to frustrate the Arsenal. They need to get an extra pass in. Frank needs to get all that in there, plus a couple of extras to make a difference here, because you're only gauged, and you know, Adrian, we're all gauged by 45 minutes of football when you're a professional. Forget about last year, that's gone. You know, so, you know, you've got to go out in the second half and show a bit of spirit and a bit of real fight, because at the moment, they're getting bowled here.
They are, after 5 minutes, when Van Ewijk on the far side he allowed Solis to cut inside on his right, which is basically wide. That's what he does. It's his signature move. Why are you letting him go on your right? Have you not been told that? Have you not done your own homework on him? Or are you just not doing the job you've been asked to do properly? I knew it was going to be a long night. But let's pay some tribute to the champions, because Arsenal are quick, they're slick, they're effective. And actually, yes, it's Coventry, and yes, they're beating them easily. But it's a little message to any who might think they're contenders out there. Arsenal have hit the ground running this season.
They look remarkably fresh, don't they? When you think we've had, we've had a Premiership campaign, they've had to do with a lot of pressure. They've had a parade, they've lost the Champions League final, they've been to the World Cup. But they look fresh. So, the manager's done a fantastic job mentally tonight to get this team exactly where they are. Gabriel looks on it. Rice is on it. Odegaard looks like he's up a level from last year. So there's some great signs for Arsenal. I mean, they can't get more comfortable. I was actually thinking, what would I say if I was playing Arteta? I think I'd just get back to the second corner.
Just keep doing the same thing.
Just go like, okay, full time.
But credit to you, because last Sunday on Magic Park, you said the Bukayo Saka will be hungry after what happened at the World Cup, how underused he was in those final games by the manager Thomas Tuchel, and he's got himself a goal. He's looked really lively. I think he's looked really good for us. It's almost like he's sending Tuchel a message.
No doubt in my mind that Saka will be a massive player this year for Arsenal and for England, by the way, because I think his performances for Arsenal get him back into that fold where he should be. I don't understand why he didn't play in that World Cup, particularly in those last couple of games. Yeah, like injury, but in those big games, don't worry about it. Just put it to the fact that he might go out and play until he wants to play. Anyway, that's going to be a rattling off. Tonight, Arsenal morning comes on. If I was Arteta, I would just be looking for what Frank does at half time, what he changes, and I'll adjust my team a little bit during the 45 minutes. There's nothing to say at half time. Frank's got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. He won't be shouting at the corner because he knows they've lost confidence. He's going to have to be very, make the point very clear, very calmly, get that team out there with a much more positive outlook in terms of their approach to the game.
Fridays is back today's episode. I say that Spurs selling well action will go down as the biggest mistake any Premier League team has ever made. You watch his career. He will play for England. And I've got in a theory he might play for Arsenal next season. Who knows if that'll come true? Crookie says that he's on rest to be the first Premier League manager to be sacked this season. And he's actually in Kelly's take on Alejandro Garnacho.
He's only 22 years of age, but this is now his third chance at a big Premier League club, and probably his last chance, if I had it my way. He has stuck his neck out for Garnacho, and he might really need him to step up. And his form's been in a steady decline. If it continues, then I think his talent could permanently go to waste. Emery, you would hope, has the coaching experience to try and turn things around, but there's no guarantees. And I question how many of Morgan Rogers' 14 goals last season could Garnacho help replace? They could lose Watkins too, who scored another 21 in all competitions. Manzambi scored 7 for Freiburg last season. Garnacho has got to chip in. He can't just post this one. After the way that he's let teams and himself down at Manchester United and Chelsea, he probably doesn't even deserve a coach of Emery's quality to offer him a life group, to be honest. And if it goes wrong, Villa's season could end up faltering quite badly.
She makes a great case. You can listen to Fiery Fridays on the TalkSport Daily Podcast feed, wherever you get your podcasts. You get it on the TalkSport app as well. Look at 11 AM tomorrow. TalkSport's exclusive whole Manchester United live commentary in the Premier League. John Wrestling Chantry from 11. We can confirm this evening as well. Man United have agreed a £70 million fee with a sell-on to sign Carlos Baleba, the midfielder from Brighton. Sunday morning at 9 AM, Sunday edition with John Custis and Andrew Winter. Their studio guest will be the former Peterborough manager Darren Thurston from Man United midfield played for Wrexham. So I wish you fucking Charlie Ross. There's 1 minute 16. Doesn't count good against Rotherham.
Not again.
But I'm optimistic, mate.
I'm glad it's not getting to you. And then it has to ruin your science.
Absolutely killing. The former Liverpool Newcastle striker might go in the studio breakfast Monday morning with Jeff Stelling and Alan McCoy, and United as well. And Brown with Billy Ferguson Plus. Here in the end, it's Arsenal Coventry 2-0, half time. Surely there's not going to be a comeback from Klopp in the second
on TalkSport.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fans-only stadium-style seating. Amazing views on huge screens, and we're on the way. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the mark. And it's there. His favourite ice cold beer. What a result. Should be live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
In 10 metres, take a left at the pile of washing.
Sorry, what?
At the Valley of Toy Dinosaurs, approach the kitchen with no room to cook. Turn right at the wardrobe. Once you've reached chaos, recalculating. Suggest immediate course correction to IKEA for fitted wardrobes, children's storage, and cupboard organisers.
Find your way back to calm. Discover smart storage at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Crocs Clips, just drop in happiness. Express yourself however you feel. Sports mode, stylish, or superstar too. Whatever your vibe, we've got them all for you. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal.
Until the 21st of September from 11 a.m. Includes one piece of epic booklets for Crocs rooms and private toys only while stocks last. Favorite drink plus your life.
Great result. Thanks, Peter. Coming up, we have league action live on Friday night, followed by 3 more games live on Saturday, then 2 more massive games live on Sunday, and don't forget, league action live on Monday night. Then it's over to Europe for the big one, live on Tuesday, then the even bigger one, live on Wednesday, then it's the other European competition.
A break isn't a bad idea. So, if ever you want to take time out from betting, use Paddy Power's Take a Break tool to pause your account. Paddy Power.
It's another Dares through fix, and for no Farah is learning the ropes.
So, no, with click and collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to the shops in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, though. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat Moby being on board.
Back in the mouth. Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Through fix. No stopping you. Football is back and it's game on. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With expert opinion and tactical analysis, you get it all with goals. And with unrivaled views from the Premier League, EFL and Cup competitions, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every match week on Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Wednesday, only in the Sun. Kick off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Arsenal versus Coventry live today. 18 plus stream our internet terms apply. Established and excellent evening star of football kickoff live on TalkSport.
Coventry City back in the big time with the aim of staying in the big time. Arsenal bagged the title last season. Many are tipping them to retain it.
Oriented by Van White right in front of those Arsenal fans, and then as he tried to clear, it comes down to Fury, and it's slightly in there by Kai Havertz. And that is the difference between Premier League and Championship football. Odegaard full right, still he goes, off to his left-hand side, Solis throwing it in, Saka! Leading by 2 goals to 0, and clearly with a real appetite for destruction here. Trying to take on the Silver, pull back, Odegaard's all too easy, but Ben White, who has an effort that is then deflected and cleared by the Silver.
It's kind of a worrying sign to me there, Cole's the away man.
There is a Grand Canyon between these two sides.
They trail Arsenal by 2 goals to 0.
Yeah, Coventry's best man in the corner in the first minute. They've been roadkill in North London. The former Arsenal defender Mark Keown's here. Going on with Jim White and Simon Jordan from 10 on Monday morning. Keown said last week when he bar in the Championship, completely out of touch with fans. Let's see what he says at 10 Monday morning. Tonight at 10 p.m. Sports Bar Weekend. The real Gavin and Carlton Cole responding to the whole channel on TalkSport earlier. Upset at Carlton's criticisms of Hull City. Frank Lampard, by the way, 10 straight seasons in double figures goals for Chelsea. Declan Rice, 4 goals last season and missed a really good chance at the end of the first half. Declan needs more goals. And there's no shame in being a newly side losing to the Premier League champions on day one, but there is potentially shame in the manner of that defeat. Let's see how the second half plays out live and exclusive and only here on TalkSport. Arsenal 2, Coventry 0. Here's Alan Pardew and Jim Crawford.
Thank you, Adrian. Well, no changes being made by either team, so this is how they line up. Ryder in goal for Arsenal, White, Mosquera, Gabriel, Calafiori, Rice and Lewis Skelly, Saka, Odegaard, Solis and Havertz. Rashford in goal for Coventry, Barre, White, Thomas, Amenda and De Silva, Onyeka, Urenchi and Grimes, Schauner, Sims and Thomas Asante. And Tom Brown, the referee, gets us underway for the second half with Arsenal red shirts with the white sleeves, white shorts, they're keeping from right to left. And Coventry in their sky blue and white striped shirts with black shorts. Declan Rice in possession. A few empty seats ahead of the start of this second half. Certainly the home sections, not in the away fans, away to our right hand side, who know that this is always going to be part of the adventure, being back in the elite, that they would have some tough tests along the way. This has proved to be that so far. And they've got work to do to try and engineer a potential way back into this, or build some positives for the significant games ahead, like Hull at home next week. Arsenal in possession, just on the edge of their own penalty area. Working back now for David Raya, who's one of those nights where he's glad he's not getting played by the touch. The ball goes out to the right and he's got it back again. So he's probably already twice as much in the second half as he did in the first half.
It's one way of looking at it, I suppose. Yeah, Arsenal coming out and just playing it around, really. Just trying to get a mental control of the game.
Ben White's got it. Remember Arsenal earlier today completed a Sony anniversary concert who was paraded before the fans earlier. The ball forward here, Saka's offside. The concert arriving in a £51 million deal, with a few extras on top of that. Interesting to see how he gets into this team. It's Mosquera and Gabriel centre half today, and Ben White at right back. I think the fact that Constance got that versatility to play at right back as well as the centre half will be a real boon for Mikel Arteta, who, as things stand right now, is looking set for his 150th Premier League win as a manager. Coventry in possession, though, they try and get themselves into a position to halve the deficit. Chandler goes down right on the edge of that. Thomas Asante, beg your pardon, right on the edge of the penalty area. Arsenal get it away, then Havertz goes down and halfway. Now the referee isn't fussed about giving a free kick for either of those. The Coventry fans wanted a penalty for theirs. Urenchi goes into the feet of Chowner, back for Grimes, who will turn the bearded midfielder, plays in Bobby Thomas. 2.5 minutes into the second half. Arsenal 2 goals to the good. Ball shoots over the top here. Urenchi will chase it. Out comes Ryan. He's able to claim it and then bowls it out quickly for Declan Rice.
Yeah, I mean, Coventry haven't really done anything structurally to their team. They've come out exactly the same format. So hopefully, there are a few tough words in there, I'm guessing. See if we've got a little bit more intent in the second half.
I'm surprised that there weren't any changes in personnel. Here's Odegaard, sorry Alan, as the ball goes out of the right for Saka. Little flip ball around the corner. It's pulled back towards the end of the 6-yard box and ball in. And Arsenal lead by 3 goals to nil as Odegaard wheels away. Hands out almost with a sense of guilt written across his face. Little deflection on its way through there, I think. But Arsenal 3 goals to the good. And just as Coventry were hoping to lay a foundation with the potential to get themselves back into it, it's been taken away from them once and for all.
First attack, just come down the right-hand side again. Didn't really engage with a wide player. They got down the channels far too easy. It looks like a glaring error by the goalie to me. We're looking at the replay now. He gets into the byline, he goes back to Odegaard. Yeah, he miscues it. It puts the goalie is now falling backwards. He can't react. This gets a ball to it. It's not enough to keep it out. It's a really disappointing goal for Coventry, and you know, you find yourself 3 3-0 down. Frank probably hasn't even come out yet.
3-0. They are having a look at the validity of that goal to see whether everybody was onside.
Yeah, White may have been offside, I thought, on the overlap.
Goal stands, and Martin Odegaard, who only scored once all season, last season, has already got 2 in 2 in all competitions this, to add to the goal that he got in the Community Shield. It was a horrible moment for Rushworth, because he was going back, and it just, I think, took a little nick on its way through as Odegaard played it in, and that rolled through the goalkeeper. There was no pace in it at all. So he's still got a good left hand to it, but because his momentum was taking him back, he couldn't get the strength to put a hand on it. We're just having a look at the cartoon on the big screen that confirms that Ben White was indeed onside. Martin Odegaard with the goal, 3-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, you know, with goalkeepers, if their momentum is the wrong way, then they're really in trouble. And the deflection meant that his momentum wasn't coming forward. So therefore, he was always going backwards. He could get no weight. He couldn't react in time. Transfer his weight back to the front foot to get that ball out of the goal. And so it looked uglier for him, the goalie. I feel sorry for him a little bit.
Odegaard's found Declan Rice. It's beginning to look ugly all around the place for Coventry here. Solis getting the ball inside the penalty area, and it's knocked away. Comes back outside the Sky Blues box. Odegaard out towards Saka. Left-footed ball inside the penalty area. With Mosquera still forward, but he couldn't find him. Coventry will try and ease it clear with Jay De Silva over on the far touchline. De Silva winning a throw as Saka tried to flick the ball into it. But it has gone out of play for a Coventry ball.
You know, it's like, it's always amazing to me about the Premier League, really, is that Coventry, if they come here in the FA Cup last year with the team that they had, they would have got a far better performance than this.
Havertz, and another effort towards goal is just fingertips over the bar by Rushworth. It was Lewis Skelly that struck it. Rose only ever scored one senior goal in his career. He had so much space on the edge of the penalty area, and he hit a rising left-footed drive in the centre of the goal. And Rushworth just got his fingers to it to help it on its way over. And this will be the first goal of the second half. And will be taken on the Arsenal left-hand side by Declan Rice. 6 goal. So it's waiting on Mart's edge of the penalty area. Rice raises his left arm above his head. He sees that in really deep towards the back post, plenty of curl on it. Decent defensive header. In amongst the traffic, and Coventry will be able to get it away down the far touchline with Van Ewijk. But it's inevitably going to come straight back again. And Arsenal took their foot off the Coventry throw towards the end of the first half. Really hungry for all now.
Yeah, they've come out to seal the game, which they've probably done with that third goal. But the point I'm going back to is that, you know, Coventry with these changes that they've made have weakened the team. Weaken the spirit, weaken the continuity of the team. And that can happen sometimes, so it might take them a while to settle now, particularly if they end up with 4 or 5 against them tonight.
Throw is taken right down towards the byline. Coventry will clear. Showler into the feet of Sims. And Coventry have recently signed a new striker, 19-year-old Siddiqui Sharif, who can play through the middle. He can play off the right-hand side as well. They paid £20 million to Fenerbahce for him, so they've got other bodies to be able to come into this squad. Gus Harder that they brought back to the club this week on the bench today, and Tabo Wonyi may well see some minutes in this second half. So there have been some new faces brought in, 9 in all, although a couple of them were on loan last season, and so they're not new. And I think that this just indicates the size of the task that Frank Lampard faces, and probably, truth be told, that Jurkovic and O'Neill face at their respective clubs, Hull and Ipswich as well. Maybe just showing the gulf between the real top end of the Premier League and the Championship. Van Ewijk it comes down towards the right-hand side of midfield for Grimes. Now Chowner, left-footed ball, curved in, he's looking for Ellis Sims. Took a brush off an Arsenal head. Peels for handball from the Coventry fans, not the players significantly. And it's clear. And Mender then clipping it, down towards the right. Chowner's done well, back pedals, is able to chest the ball down. But anyway, coming over that, shipping it in towards the far post, over Raya, but over Sims as well. And Saka back defending can find Mosquera. His clearance, and Mender will knock it straight back again. This is Coventry's best amount of pressure of the entire night. Ball comes from Grimes down the left-hand side to Silva inside the penalty area. Is he eased to the ground by Saka? The referee says it's a corner.
You're absolutely spot on there. Best little spell from Coventry. It started from a great outside of the foot pass from Amanda, the centre back. They got down this side, good cross from the full back. He got 8 assists last year. But there was no one on the end of it. Sims, unfortunately, got near close and it went to the far post. But corner for Coventry. Much needed lift.
Well, the fans, of course, it goes without saying, still with Grimes going out to take the corner, and he's not in any huge hurry to do so, but standing ovation for him from the Coventry supporters. The fourth official, Jared Gillett, has just come on the field for a moment. I don't know, there's a slight problem with one of the watches of the referee, I think.
It isn't a sponsorship club, Chloe, is it? They've got a deal with the watchmaker.
Oh, you're a proper cynic. I mean, I don't know this Messi always doing his boots up before kick-off so that he can get close up with the boots.
You never know these days.
No, good idea though, isn't it? Yeah, let's go to it. In comes the corner from the Coventry left. It's an away swinger. Thomas attacking it, and it's clear. Saka trying to help it further away. Onyeka has lost it, and Arsenal can break from deep. And they're coming forward quickly. It's Kai Havertz. Turn the guard into the 6-yard box. Worked in, but too far ahead of Solis, who's offside anyway. And Coventry survive. But that was a potentially devastating counter-attack from Arsenal. Turning over possession from the Sky Blue set piece. And they very nearly punished it. But when the ball came, it just came a fraction too late.
Yeah, Odegaard, who's usually brilliant in those situations, he had plenty of time. Not only did he choose the wrong pass because he was offside, but he overhit it as well. You know, usually he makes the right decision there. That's what really makes him stand out amongst the rest when it comes to offensive actions.
There's Matt Grimes for Coventry. For the last 7 championship champions have been relegated in their first season up. But for the last 10 years, championship champions, 4 have finished in the top half, 4 have been relegated. And you'll be well aware that over the last 8 years, 14 of the 24 sides who were promoted have gone straight back down again. There is a big gulf between first and second levels, there's no doubt about that. Widening all the time, potentially, although Sunderland did their best to show that there is still potentially the playoff winners, the best playoff winners performance in the Premier League for years. We come Coventry again, bringing it forward, trailing 3-0 here on TalkSport. All the way down the right hand side of the box, Onyeka is chasing after it. Really steady, just his body screaming in with Frank Onyeka. And then it going to the ground. There was contact made. It's a free kick to Arsenal. So they'll take the left-hand side of the right box. It's like 13 minutes of the second half, Alan Marsh.
Yeah, Bruce Kelly, just now and again, takes real risks, you know, for a central midfield player. He took a couple in the first half. There was a couple of mistakes he made close last season, right at the end. He made another one, but he's taking a real risk. He doesn't need to do that. He's so good. So he needs to just cut that side out of his game.
Do you think this is his best position, and this is where he's going to end up playing the majority of games in his career, or?
Definitely. Because he turns really well in a central area. I was a central midfielder. He lets the ball run across him. It buys him time. And his passing is good. Defensively, he's sound. So he's definitely his best position. I always thought he lacks a yard, really, at fullback against really, really quick wingers. Much more easier in there. Like me, when you're slow, you get away with it.
It's Rice finding Gabriel. Long crossfield ball from Rice, quickly outside of the right boot, and brought down beautifully by the Arsenal. Right-hand side finds Ben White, who then drops his shoulder and clips it in towards the far post, looking for Calafiori, but it's hooked away from him by Thomas Asante. Gabriel very elegantly buys himself a yard of space to get away from Sims. And Arsenal will bring it forward. There's some action on the Coventry bench. We're going to be seeing Victor Tor and potentially others as well. But with an hour gone, Coventry looking to rotate the pack shortly. And this is the Arsenal Coventry on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly in minutes. Like Arsenal versus Coventry live right now. Stream via internet. Terms apply. Odegaard to Solis. Solis getting it inside the box. Calafiori off balance. Couldn't get a touch that he wanted. Still got it back to Odegaard. 5-1 in towards the near post. And Coventry got the bodies in the way and deflected it away for a corner.
Stuff from Arsenal. Now, when you're in this position and you're the newly crowned champions, you can imagine there's a slight uncontrollable urge to be overconfident. But they've been good tonight, Arsenal. They've been on it. They've not been showboaty. They've been efficient, and that's been showing in their play. They've made some really good actions tonight, and they're really highlighting that Coventry have got a lot to do.
Declan Rice to take this latest Arsenal corner, which is their 7th. 3 goals to the good already. Another one that comes in short. Finally, Solis. Solis for Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly looking for Saka when surely could put his foot through it and finally towards goal. The fact that he didn't belie the fact that he's only scored once in his career. And then Coventry chasing after having turned over possession, trying to work it forward for Van Away. Arsenal got the bodies back and the Dutchman has conceded a free kick. But it came on to Lewis Skelly on his right foot, and I think everyone in the ground was amazed that he didn't shoot.
Yeah, good job. There's a nice piece of action there about why Arsenal are so good. So the shot doesn't come off. They break Coventry. Arsenal's recovery is like what Coventry should be. It's like fast, quick, get back into shape. There's Odegaard who makes the actual challenge. He gets fouled right in their last third. Right there is championship work rate.
So Coventry make their first change. Jurenci that's come off, and Victor Tor comes on to replace him to make his Premier League debut. The Danish attacking midfielder got 10 goals in the Championship last season. He's scored in his last 2 appearances. Now he's come on just past the hour mark. Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0 here on TalkSport. And I remind you what's coming up the rest of the weekend very shortly. Odegaard clipping it inside the penalty area, but the retreat Coventry back line can work it away. Thomas Asante has had to do a lot of his best work in a defensive capacity. Because Coventry just haven't been able to service their attacking players. Solis, who had seen plenty of it for Arsenal, into the feet of Havertz, who scored the first. Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, threading it forward, looking for Odegaard to score the Arsenal 3rd goal, but Bobby Thomas is out of clear. He's got it forward towards Ellis Sims, and Sims taking it on, down towards the left-hand touchline. Will just poke it down towards that touchline, and Rice came across and made sure that Sims had no chance of getting another touch. And it goes for an Arsenal throw that they've taken quickly, as they will build for the back, going from right to left, leading 3-0.
There's a little sort of tweak to Arsenal tonight that I'm noticing. And that's in their sort of formation when they're offensive place. Down the right-hand side, you've got White, Saka, Odegaard, and Atson Rice. They really kind of have loads and loads of combinations over there. But then they leave Solis right out here on the left channel. And it's a nice balance, because when they switch it to him, he's just got acres of room to run at the fullback. And I didn't see that last year. Last year, Martinelli played there, but he played tucked in. Here he is again. Loads of space.
Wearing 17 inside the penalty area. Havertz taking it on. Thomas recovered. And taps it away for another Arsenal corner. It really looks the bar Christoph Solis, who was the subject of one of the all-time great commentary lines. I wish I'd thought of this. If you love your Britpop from the 90s, I love Britpop, but when he scored his first goal for the Canaries, the commentator said, he came from Greece and that's his first for Norwich. Using a line out of common people by Pop, which
which is sensational.
One of the great pop records running that.
Magnificent. Chapeau. Here's Declan Rice to take this corner, right footed, in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Rushworth got caught in traffic, headed away in front of him. Back out for Solis through a crowd. Rushworth recovering well, got down, got his hands behind him, and Van Eyck in front of him does the rest of bundle it clear.
Yeah, Rushworth needed that save, I think. He got caught in his goal line there for the cross. So in all sorts of trouble, but he could save.
And Arsenal running it forward. Have they won another corner? Or is it going to be a throw down by the corner flag?
I think they hit the corner flag actually, and out for a throw.
Ball spinning off Victor Torp. Calafiori just asking for clarification. And goes across to pick up the ball. Throw down towards Solis. Solis back to Moscow. Moscow to the right-hand side of the Arsenal midfield. Finding Ben White. White to Erdegaard. Double change for Arsenal is imminent. Supermendy and Van Wecke ready for action. Crossfield ball, a poor one. Van Eyck seizes upon it. Bringing forward for Coventry. Sims lets it run. Had few options really because it was a poor pass for him. Worked well in the end for Onyeka to siphon it out towards the left-hand side. Thomas Asante, left-hand side of the penalty area, trying to get the crossings well blocked. Then White got in the way. Next phase of play, Coventry work another one in. That's clear. Comes out for Bobby Thomas through a crowd. He's hoping that it took a deflection on its way through and it's gone out of play for a corner. The referee says no. Goal kick. Coventry moaning about it. David Ryan takes the goal kick quickly. And referee Tom Bramwell says no, I'm not ready. Because I'm still arguing about that last decision. And everybody's unhappy.
You're right, everybody's unhappy. Right, it was good thinking by the goalie. You know, he just put it down and take it real quick while Coventry were all complaining. Two Arsenal players were on the break. The referee wasn't having it.
Possibly hit both of Mosquera's feet on its way out, but it's easy when you see the replay. Zubimendi coming on for Rice. And Madueke for Saka, the two Arsenal changes.
Yeah. But assuming the boys who have been training all summer, get a little rest.
Martin Zubimendi coming on. Off the bench now in 7 of Arsenal's last 8 games. Molly Madueke, who started the Community Shield, in fact, scored Arsenal's last Premier League goal of last season. Came off after an hour in the Community Shield. He comes on midway through the second half today. And Coventry always bring Jack Rodoni on for very shortly for his Premier League debut. Bringing an Arsenal lead here on TalkSport. Listen to Arsenal Coventry with Enterprise Rendegar. Here for it, book now at enterprise.co.uk. It's going to be really interesting hearing the views of Frank Lampard after this game. You can hear from Frank and Mikel Arteta and more after we're done here with Will Gavin and Carlton Cole having their say on the first game of the Premier League season, the Sports Bar Weekender, and the reaction from downstairs here in the Emirates. A lot of your reaction in that show with Will Gavin and Carlton Cole, Sports Bar Weekender, coming up after the full-time whistle here on TalkSport. 3-0 Arsenal, Calafiori finding Zubimendi. Zubimendi's ball back to Lewis Skelly, who protects it well, guides the way from Frank Onyeka. Gabriel will come forward, back out to Zubimendi again. Up towards the edge of the penalty area is found Solis. Solis back to Gabriel. Gabriel for Lewis Skelly, getting the ball out from between his feet, trying to take it away and keep it away from Grimes. Gabriel will come forward. And Chowner doesn't commit himself, and then is able to win the ball back. He's under real pressure here. And I think the Arsenal fans thought that he bought a free kick, but he has had it given his way down by his own corner flag. That will allow Cobb the opportunity to make a double change. And as well as seeing Rodoni, we're going to see Taiwo Awoniyi, who will replace Ellis Sims. Awoniyi, who they signed from Nottingham Forest, struggled for match time last year. He's had bad injuries, but Coventry have taken the punt on his fitness. They paid £9 million for him on Monday. He's scored 3 of his last 5 appearances against Arsenal, and he's coming on here 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, you know, he's had a good experience at the Premier League, and he's a handful on his day. I think it's a good signing, I think, for Coventry. Hopefully he'll make an impact in this game.
Thomas Sandy's the other player that's come on along with Sims, and Rodoni and Awonyi have come on, and Awonyi immediately is on the ground holding his space. The play will go on. He's back up on his feet. And
what a start.
Yeah, not much. That was an instant analgesic that sorted that out. As soon as he realised the play was continuing, he was okay.
Did himself no favours there, did he? He went down on his face, and then as they attacked Arsenal, he got up and he was perfectly okay.
How much can you read into this from an Arsenal perspective?
Well, you can read into it. That real kind of offensive look now just changed a little bit. They're on it. They're not complicating it. They're playing it very, very efficiently. And they look like a team who are not kind of going to... Did you see sometimes with champions? You don't think they're going to just all going to happen for them and because they're champions. They're making it happen. And that's exactly what you would love to have seen on Saturday tonight.
Since 2010, only Manchester City have retained the title. They have done it 4 times, but it has proved very, very difficult. And Arsenal themselves last retained the title in 1935, which gives you an idea of what an achievement it would be. I'll tell you, we'll be the first manager ever to win the title in successive seasons for Arsenal. So they won 3 in a row in the 1930s. They were under the auspices of a different man every time.
Yeah, I see that stat this morning. I was astonished by that. They won the title, manager win. For whatever reason.
Well, I heard the chapman died, I think, which was part of it, and then I think I'm right in saying his replacement then was only on a temporary basis and then left. I think that's right. Arsenal bring it forward here towards the edge of the penalty area. It's only gone, curling effort, Rushford dive to his right, headed away from in front of him by Thomas. I think he would have saved it anyway. Arsenal come again, Erdegaard again, just outside the penalty area onto his left foot. There's something about his shot. To his left-hand side for Solis. Solis to Calafiori. And Calafiori just outside the penalty area for Lewis. Oh, good boy! Calafiori didn't quite get there quickly enough. Rushford out of the 6-yard box, smothers the ball at the Italian's feet, and Coventry survived. 3-0 Arsenal.
Great pass from Lewis Kelly. Bit lucky in the Charity Shield last week. Fantastic pass inside the fullback. And it was just unfortunately over here, just sliding the keeper going goal. Arsenal look so comfortable. Even with the changes Coventry have made, you want to see a little bit more from them. But, you know, just give their fans something. I mean, their fans have been brilliant here tonight in that corner. They hardly had anything to shout about.
But still, they say, I mean, their support has been absolutely top draw. I wouldn't have expected anything less. But it has been really, really impressive. And will be throughout the course of the season. And A1 now, with the ball in his hand, has an opportunity to launch a long throw. No towels to dry the balls this season. They are banned. And A1 launching this in. Good trajectory on the throw, finds the penalty spot, but also the head of an Arsenal player. And it's knocked away by Supermendi and out, and it gives him another opportunity to launch one into pretty much exactly the same place. And he retrieves the ball off of a white cone, he tries it on the inside of his shirt, bounces the ball once, makes his way back, gives the signal, rushes in, hurls it in towards the near post, looking for a flip from Thomas, which wasn't forthcoming. Arsenal clear, and Banewa comes onto it himself and just knocks it back for Onyeka, and the forward Brentford man. Sending a spinning aerial ball out towards the left-hand side. Rodoni can help it on. And will continue his way inside the penalty area. Arsenal having just smothered away from Awonyi to find David Raya, who clears, gets to the halfway, and around the Mender has it. And he'll play it through the centre circle and out towards Frank Onyeka. Obviously with a little bit more possession the last 10 minutes or so, but that's a byproduct of the scoreline as much as anything else, with Arsenal leading this 3-0 on easy street. was Lewis Skelly, the perpetrator of the first one, and there was another collision off the ball as well. Free kick out to Coventry, and a double change for Arsenal. Chiesa and Mikel Merino, the players that are coming on, and listen to this ovation, clearly finding Christos Solis.
Yeah, excellent performance from him. Giving Arsenal another dimension there. And now we've got a wide player who's just going to keep running at the fullback, taking it on. Great addition to the squad, that has been. Odegaard's been terrific too. He gets a nice standing ovation. Not sad stuff. We've got two World Cup winners now on the pitch, and Eze. It's the strength of Arsenal.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Mikel Merino played 45 minutes in the final, has come on. He's replaced Odegaard in the midfield. Has gone out to the Arsenal left-hand side, replacing Solis. Play that role in a different manner, you would imagine. Coventry working forward too much, though, on Chowner's ball as he looked at Monnier in behind Mosquera. And Arsenal can easily field that, bring it forward again with Ben White.
Yeah, as he come out here on the left-hand side, which I think has always been probably his safest position in the Premier League. Probably as a number 10, he doesn't really do enough for the team. But on this left-hand side, he comes and plays inside, be a real problem. He picks up that ball just on the edge of the area.
Arsenal saying they score that tonight, leading 3-0 tomorrow. Manchester United hope for a winning start to their Premier League campaign. The first full campaign under Michael Carrick to go to Hull. With 11, the build-up starts here on TalkSport ahead of the 12:30 kick-off. Arsenal bringing forward again towards the edge of the Coventry penalty area. The pass to Zubimendi. As a diving header is able to knock it away. And Coventry will get it more towards Awoniyi. Almost on halfway. Ball from him to Jack Rodoni. Little reverse towards Victor Talk. Didn't come off, and Arsenal win it back. Eze will make his way through the middle. Lovely turn from Madueke. Eze waiting for it. Havertz has got it. Couldn't find it. Marino, who was a beg your pardon, and Rodoni will be able to bring it away for Coventry down the left.
Yeah, he should have done better than that. Great bit of play by Arsenal again. Just let down on the final moment.
Now, Awoniyi can hold it up. Nigerian striker laying it back in the day. Victor Talk out to Jack Rodoni. A player who, for the last couple of years, has oozed Premier League class in the Championship. Coventry's number 5, making his top flight debut today. Back from Talk to Grimes. Now towards the right-hand side of Van White. Thomas back into the feet of Grimes again, and then Thomas will go back to his goalkeeper. So it's Hull Manchester United at 12:30. A championship action for you tomorrow. West Ham Charlton. The London derby to savour. The Alan Pardew derby. A few of those, to be fair. That's a 3 o'clock kick-up on TalkSport 2. Sunday, West Brom Burnley at high noon at Hawthorns. West Brom Derby and Burnley kicking off as well. It's also on TalkSport 2. Game day live with Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce, Charlie Adam joining Adrian tomorrow. Your award-winning game day live at 2:30, including all the goals as they go in. News of the likes of Forest against Leeds, and Leeds manager Daniel Farker and Brentford boss Keith Andrews will both be on Weekend Sports Breakfast tomorrow morning. Join Katie Shanahan and Tony Cascarino from 6 to hear from Mrs. Farker and Andrews, and Palace's FA Cup and Conference League winning keeper Dean Henderson as well. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast Saturday tomorrow from 6 here on TalkSport, where one of the topics of conversation will be an Arsenal win, but margin as yet unknown. Zubimendi's got the ball in the midfield. 3 goals in Arsenal's favour at the moment, as they have the ball on the edge of the D with Gabriel. Go to the right-hand side of the box before going back to Raya, who just side foots it away. And the guys that just saw the ball before Ben White knocks it through the midfield. He's found Mikel Merino. Like the Spaniard has got runners to his left. All of his Calafiori as making further ground down the left. Pokes it back, Merino taking the ball. It's a lovely turn just to find himself a yard of space away from Frank Onyeka, who can't put a challenge in. Eze has it more centrally as he picks up possession this time. He's gone out towards Benoit. 20 yards outside the box. Arsenal getting Capier ready for action. He'll be on in a moment. That'll be their final change. Zubermendi for Lewis Skelly. Back out to the right-hand side of midfield for White. Ronnie Madueke. Man to be able to bring on. Closer back outside the penalty area for Zubermendi. Coventry getting something deeper and deeper. Ball through the penalty area. Headed away. And Mender did well to get to it first. Calafiori watches out of play. Hands in the back of Van Awijk, but no complaints. And it will be an Arsenal throw on the left hand by the corner flag. Now Harmer ready to come on for Coventry, but I think that both sides they're going to wait. No, Arsenal will make the change now. Calafiori going across to take the throw, then sees the numbers ball come up with 33 on it. That makes his way down the touchline, and Capier comes on to replace him. So Capier and Calafiori, the last of Arsenal's changes. Gus Harmer, his introduction is going to have to wait. Arsenal taking the throw, with Capier, now permanently an Arsenal player. Lewis Skelly, 15 outside the Coventry penalty area. That's a really good opportunity to shoot earlier and potentially double his career goal haul. Here's Marino, right-hand side of the box, checks beautifully. Back outside the area, Zubermendi with a heavy layup, but Madueke's onto it. Madueke rolling his studs over the top of the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Gabriel learns to shoot. And he's putting 10-15 rows back. 3-0 Arsenal, 8.5 to go.
Vincent sneezed there.
Bless you.
Yes, bless me. I'm really impressed with Ben White today. You know, he doesn't get a lot of good press, I don't think, from this Arsenal team. He doesn't always play. But whenever I see him, he's efficient. He holds his position. He's been excellent tonight. Some of his crossing has been outstanding. But that combination down that right side really is a problem for Coventry. And it's been all night. They overload it. Even when the subs come on, it's the same format. And that's a theme that was very evident last year.
Coventry have now made their change. Gus Harmer has come on. First Coventry appearance since August 2023 when he left for Sheffield United, but he's made his way back this week in a £6 million deal. Another player who has got Premier League experience, albeit not the happiest of that play side that went down. Here's Lewis Skelly. Looking up the ball, beautiful turn, applauded by my esteemed colleague. In towards Eza. Good quick feet from him as well, with 4 Coventry players around him, and he's won himself a free kick.
That technical proficiency they have in midfield, you know, it looks easy, but some of the stuff they're doing is really good.
Lewis Skelly's with front and centre in that, and he's got it again now. As though he's not quite playing with a swagger, but certainly you can see the confidence that he has. And how much enjoyment he's getting from this new role that he was given right at the end of last season. Arsenal, with Ben White leading by 3 goals to 0. A game that has been by the shadow probably since those 2 first-half goals in the space of 7 minutes, but certainly sealed with the one early in the second half from Martin Odegaard. We give Miguel Arteta his 150th Premier League win, the 5th fastest manager to that tally. He's going to get there quicker than Arsene Wenger, 9 games quicker. Here's Zubermendi. The feet of Miguel Marino. Again, very easy for him to turn. Flicks the ball off to his right-hand side. And Madueke coming forward as Arsenal look for a 4th. Not going gung-ho for it, just waiting to see if the opportunity arises, really. That's the way I'm describing it. Coventry clear on this again, getting ball for Aouani. And he will run Mosquera, can't get past him. So retain possession while Frank Lampard applauding his efforts. Tall Dane coming forward, Harmer to his left. He's worked it back instead through the midfield for Rodoni. And Rodoni in a central area just for a moment here. Back out towards the Silva. Now Jack Rodoni can come forward, sticks his foot in, but loses out. Coventry winning back immediately. Torp for Grimes. Back for Torp in his orange boots. Grimes has got it again. The ball fall from Hunt, not the best. Coventry with a second opportunity to make headway to the Arsenal penalty area. Can't do so. White for Zubimendi, who clears to halfway. And Mender is there to nod it forward. Coventry will be able to bring it forward again. Can they get a consolation? Shorts ball inside the area. And the header from Rodoni straight at David Raya. That, their best chance of the night.
Yeah, he's made a difference to talk since he's been on the pitch. He's been very elegant, made some nice moments. Had a great ball in there, and they should have scored.
Yeah, Jack Rodoni, who's got a fair few goals for Coventry from midfield, and just sending a header down into the ground, and it was easy for Raya. Didn't really have to move other than stick his hands up in front of his face to save it.
Yeah, when you're hitting those fast internal crosses like that, when the bends are, coming inwards, very, very difficult to defend. You just can't get off the floor, and he should have scored.
Yeah, Rodoni a 1-5 man for Cov after his move there from Huddersfield. There's a decent return from midfield. 4 minutes to go. That's the fans beginning to file out. They're heading for the Piccadilly line. Their side guaranteed a winning start for a 5th successive season. Their last defeat coming at Manchester City in April, if you discount penalty shootouts. Zubimendi turning down towards Nkapie. Nkapie plays the ball back. Zubimendi sends a crossfield ball that bounces once before going onto the right boot of Mosquera on the edge of the centre circle. Now Ben White can venture forward again. It's 10 yards inside the Coventry half as he plays it into the feet of Madueke. Coming back to meet him, he's just rolled it back to White. And forward comes Madueke again, but he's lost possession. Coventry with Grimes forced by the way that he's facing back for his keeper, and Rushford will clear. Coventry can't hold it up. Arsenal will bring it down again with Marino in the midfield. Now Nkapie. Nkapie down towards Kai Havertz, right in the challenge of Bane White as he plays it back to Zubimendi. Marino again able to turn. Eza watches it drift over his shoulder, but past him and then past Thomas. And out of play for a goal kick that Rushford will take it. 3 to go.
There's an example of what you've got to do at this level, because Coventry had possession, then there was a little tussle and a kind of like 50-50 action where they should have done so much better. Arsenal done really well, they won it back, and then got 15 passes in and nearly made an opportunity. That's what you've got to do. You cannot, in these tussles, in these moments where it turns over, let the opposition have the ball. You've got to get it. And they haven't done that enough tonight, Coventry, and therefore Arsenal dominated the play from start to finish.
Yeah, Alan, on a night where the size of the task was very evident before a ball was even kicked, but have Coventry gone down in your estimation?
Well, down, because I just think it's so early to say, and it's obviously slightly fragmented because he's got so many new players. He's going to have to suck it and see, Frank, and he'll learn a lot tonight. But this Arsenal team have given a lesson of, the quality that really is at the top of the league in this division. It really is on another level. They'll be much more suited against the middle sector teams and the lower sector teams, of course. I don't think they'll lose confidence tonight. It hasn't been a scoreline that would really frighten you to death. And the performance, okay, is way off. Just hope you're going to learn the lessons.
Well, Coventry got a free kick here, because Mosquera has collided a little bit cynically with Awoniyi off the ball, as the Sky Blues try to work it down to the left-hand side of the penalty area. And so there's a free kick for Coventry to work into the box. We're in the 90th minute. It's 3-0 Arsenal. But Rodoni stands hands on hips by the penalty spot. Thomas is forward, and Mender will make a run from further outside the penalty area. There's a line of 7 in red and white on the edge of the box for Arsenal to defend this. It's Victor Talk that's going to play it in. Plenty of pace towards the back post, and it's beaten everybody, including its target on Yeka. Now goes straight out of play for a goal kick to Arsenal. 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, what you want, when you come to a game like this, take some positives out of it. I think the subs have come on and made actually quite a bit of difference, if I'm honest, to Coventry. They've got a little bit more purpose about them, Talk in particular. So, something to lean on, for Frank.
Now to go in the stoppage side. Mender Just outside his own penalty area, letting the ball run onto his left foot. Jared Gillett, the fourth official, shows 4 additional minutes. Arsenal looking for goal number 4. Bringing it forward with Madueke. Marino, low left-footed shot. And Rushford gets down and is able to save in the second attempt.
Great play by Marino, and almost flashback to the World Cup there. It looked like he was going to come up with a winning goal, or the last goal in this game. Great bit of skill, and his left foot shot going in possibly at the near post. Keep the goal.
Important to keep everything in perspective, of course. 9 years ago this week, Coventry were beaten in League 2 by Newport County. Wow. Up against Ben White that day as well. And lost that. And that just shows the length of this magnificent journey they've had back up through the footballing pyramid. And it's in that context that the Sky Blue supporters won't be fazed by what they've seen tonight. Their season will not be defined by this. The ball forward here for Aounier. He goes out of play. And it is going to be a goal kick that will be taken by David Raya away to our right-hand side. 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. Don't forget, Sports Bar Weekend are coming up. Will Gavin and Carlton Cole having your say and their say, and we'll hear from Mikel Arteta and Frank Lampard after the full-time whistle here as well. Call the show, book it now. 03717 2233 44 gets you through the Sports Bar Weekend with Will Gavin and Carlton Cole tonight here on Talk Sport. 2.5 to go. David Raya, another clean sheet, incoming for last season's Golden Glove winner. And he's tossed the ball forward. Now it's going up. Briggs come off his head and goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Coventry left-hand side.
I mean, it feels slightly unfair actually to be the champions of First Division and then get a Friday night slot against the champions with the whole of Europe watching, or maybe most part of the world, I should think. And they certainly felt the full force of the Premier League.
He didn't score on the first weekend last year and ended up winning the championship, scoring more goals than anybody else in all 4 divisions. So it is only one game out of 38 rather than 1 game out of 46. Next weekend's at home to Hull. Feels much more significant.
Massive game. Trust me.
Yeah, even in week 2
for both teams, massive game.
I'll remember an action tomorrow, kicking off at 12:30 at home to Manchester United live on Talk Sport. Just playing out the last lock into this in possession with Zubimendi. Zubimendi back for Ben White. And he'll be able to bring it forward. Got a really good record against newly promoted sides. Arsenal have only dropped points against 1 in the last 3 seasons. That was when they were held here by Sunderland last season. Extending that run here tonight. 3-0 with a minute to go. Havertz, Saka and Odegaard have opened the goals. Here's Lewis Skelly. One last opportunity for a fourth potentially. Gabriel, bring Cabier, taking it on. Pass Rodoni, gets it in towards the near post. Van Ewijk able to get a touch, then stops it going out of play for a corner. And Rodoni back on his feet, plays it down the line. Aounier chasing, he's come off him. And Eza has it. Eza in towards Havertz, who's fouled. And it's a free kick, 20 yards outside the penalty area. Last set piece of the night.
Yeah. And a little bit of a theme with Arsenal tonight was the set plays. Playing almost everyone short. I think 3-4 deliveries, maybe 5. The rest all played to the edge, looking to get shots from the edge, or play keep possession in the final third. Very much like Man City did 3-4 years ago.
There's been plenty of invention. The situation's been forced upon them by these rule changes, but they've adapted very well, seemingly.
Ez is going to have a go here.
And he's right at the limit of range, and possibly beyond. 2 to the Coventry wall, right-footed, and he's cut across it, puts it out of play with the last kick of the night. And Arsenal off to a successful start as they bid to retain the league title for the first time in 91 years. 2 up inside the first quarter of the game. They added a 3rd goal early in the second half, The golfing clash between the Premier League champions and Championship champions was very evident. Listen, one game can't possibly mould your season, but it doesn't have to give you an insight into what might come. Coventry know there's a lot of hard work ahead. Arsenal, fairly breaking sweats, they got to a winning start. 3-0 to the champions.
Yeah, the Gunners stopped off flyer and they're picking up where they left off. They look like champions. I'm going to give Coventry a big positive here, Alan Pardew. They could have actually broken. Yeah, they were 2-0 down. They were absolutely beasted in that first half. But actually, for 45 minutes, since Odegaard's goal, the 3-0 goal, 49, there's been 45 minutes where they basically kept a clean sheet. And after the substitutions, they competed as well. So that's the positive they can take into next week against Hull.
For sure, and you know, as I said, the sun has come on, made a difference. You know, they showed a little bit more composure. Maybe the pressure was off them a little bit. Sometimes, you know, when you're starting a Premier League game at Arsenal like this, you feel that you're tight because you know you've got the starting call. You're on the bench. It's a different feeling. You're like, yeah, I'll come on and change this. So I think mentally tonight it was a tough gig for them. They've come through it, as you say, in the second half with a bit of pride, and the fans have been, I think, well, pleased really, more so as you say with the second half performance. But the goals at times was massive. You know, Arsenal look slick, don't they? You know, and they look confident, and they're doing it in the right manner. They're not like, you know, trying to. I didn't see any showboating tonight, which they could have done. They were just efficient and tough. Still tough to get at. Defensively, they were sound. But they looked a lot better, I thought, offensively, with particularly Darlis on this side. Had a difference for them.
Well, the Coventry players are going over to their fans in the corner. You've got to pick a man of the match. I mean, you can't pick the fans, but they have been brilliant. Those Coventry fans in the corner. I suspect they're going to be like that home and away this season. Frank Lampard and the players can't have any issues in terms of the support they've had here tonight. They're holding up banners saying, "We are back." The Coventry fans. They've just been beaten 3-0.
Yeah, what a journey they've been on. Amazing. And, you know, I'm so pleased to see them here. You know, they've really had to fight hard. Frank's done a great job in the championship. And now they've got to convert it. It's no good, you know, going to the Premier League and get beat every week and going back down. To convert it, you've got to stay in the division. That's it. And the teams in and around you, they are the goals. You can't lose to them. So next week is their goal, really, Hull. He'll learn a lot tonight, Frank. I think he'll make a few changes for that whole game. And they'll be better for us.
I will give them another positive, and that is they conceded 3 in their opening away game last season as well. The difference was at Derby they scored 5. I couldn't quite match that tonight. From an Arsenal point of view, they go to Villa, then home to Chelsea, away to Sunderland, away to Brighton. So they've got tougher tests coming up. Was this almost too easy for them? Did they need something a little bit more testing? It wasn't quite as easy as the Community Shield, though.
No, I don't want to say it's too easy. I think they were efficient. And that, you know, when you're champions, that's what you want to see. If I was up there, I'd be really pleased tonight. I didn't think anyone was, you know, drifting through the game, feeling like I'm a champion. This game's going to happen for me. They put the work in. And if they're like that, and they were in the Charity Shield last week, if they're like that all season, it'd be very, very difficult to beat. And particularly when you still get the bench, you know, the changes you can make. Two World Cup winners coming off the bench tonight, plenty in reserve, maybe another big hitter to come. Which we, you know, I think TalkSport will be breaking that news at some point, or the end of the winter, I'm sure.
Well, Ezri Konsa was paraded beforehand.
Yeah.
He was here watching. Bruno Guimaraes is injured, so he's going to come in as well.
Yeah.
Miles Lewis-Skelly was apparently leaving. He isn't apparently 100% staying Arsenal. And a player who was apparently leaving was absolutely brilliant on the night as well. It is time now for us to get down man of the match. Let's drive Red Car.
We're here for it, hero. On TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
So, actually, we're technically giving it to the Coventry fans, but in terms of players on the pitch, Alan, who wins it?
Honest, I'll give it to because I just think he's given Arsenal another dimension. That you could just see that he's been given this
on TalkSport, 03717 223344. Hull Man United tomorrow from 11 on TalkSport. It kicks on 12:30. We'll see how another of the promoted side gets on live on TalkSport. That's followed by me with Game Day Live around the grounds for the 3 o'clock games on TalkSport tomorrow afternoon. Coventry fans came here hoping for the biggest eyebrow raiser they've seen since Lady Godiva stripped and told her servants to saddle up a horse. Instead, cop pants were pulled down. Arsenal played like Premier League champions. Coventry played like they're going to struggle to survive.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Arsenal versus Coventry live today. 18 plus stream our internet, terms apply.
You can know when a favourite is out of form. You can know that a star striker is injured. You can know about that new manager bounce. But do you know your limits? With Sky Bet's safer gambling tools, you can set a deposit limit so you don't spend more than you can afford. Join over 1 million others who don't just know their limits, they're setting them too. Games back. Stay in control of your game with Sky Bet. For the fans. 18 plus. GambleAware.org.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Samo Farah is learning the ropes.
So, no. With Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Lunches. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my BB one day.
Back in a moment.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix. No stopping you.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fans-only stadium-style seating. Amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles a burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the mark. And it's there. His favourite ice cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rules, inspiration and expertise. Where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You just imagine a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
You know football, and the Sun knows football. So we know that you want the latest football news and analysis round the clock, whether it's the Premier League, EFL or cup competitions. Plus, must-watch shows like Tactics Exposed from our expert journalists. We don't know if Coventry can cut it back in the big time or whether Arsenal can retain their title, but we do know where you'll find out. Download the Sun app for fans who know football.
Big Arch just got bacon. More smokiness, more crispiness, more deliciousness. With juicy beef, cheddar cheese and a Big Arch sauce. Now topped with crispy bacon. The Big Arch just got bacon.
Until 28th of September 2026, here from 11 a.m, subject to availability.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
The UK's #1 football experience.
Kick off live on TalkSport.
TalkSport Sports Update with NordVPN. Our fastest, most advanced VPN for digital privacy and security.
Very good evening. Thank you to Adrian, to Jim and to Bart for their wonderful work at the Emirates. A cakewalk for Arsenal. 3-0 winners over Coventry. We want to hear from you Arsenal fans. 03717 223344. Myself, Will Cameron, the supremely intelligent Carlton Cole alongside me this evening. But before any of that, let's get the latest news and sport with Matt Hutchins.
Thanks, Will. Good evening. Well, it was always going to be a tough ask for Coventry tonight, and they were well beaten on their return to the Premier League after 25 years away.
It felt the Calafiori, and it's siphoned into the net by Kai Havertz. And that is the difference between Premier League and Championship football. One half mistake can prove to be so costly.
Well, Saka and Odegaard were Arsenal's other scorers as they won 3-0, but Adrian Durham says it's not all doom and gloom for Frank Lampard's boys.
They could have actually broken. They were 2-0 down. They were absolutely blistered in that first half. But actually, there's been 45 minutes where they've basically kept a clean sheet, and after the substitutions, they competed.
Well, the champions show plenty of swagger but have tougher tasks ahead. Next up for them, Villa at Villa Park. Meanwhile, Ezri Konsa says signing for Arsenal is a privilege after his move to the Emirates was confirmed. Villa received around £55 million for the centre-half. Elsewhere at Villa Park, we understand Unai Emery's club are now front-runners for Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea are keen to sell the striker for £65 million. Man United have agreed a £70 million deal for Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba. Curtis Jones' move to Inter has been confirmed. They paid Liverpool around £30 million. And Sunderland have now signed left-back Diane Methali from Toulouse for just under £26 million, despite him recently failing a medical.
Talk Sport News.
A group of celebrities, including Prince Harry, has been ordered to pay Daily Mail publishers at least £9.5 million after losing a privacy case. Meanwhile, we understand the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, could return to acting with an appearance in Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman series on Netflix.
Talk Sport weather with Quick Fit. Store your new tyres this summer at a time that suits you best from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
We're expecting a dry night ahead for most of the UK, with the odd spot of rain on the coast turning chillier in rural areas.
It's the Sports Bar Weekender. Results, reaction, previews and pundits.
It is game on!
Have your say on the nation's Friday night fan forum with unfiltered late-night sport and opinion.
The late Friday night members class.
Smart casual late-night sports entertainment. The Sports Bar Weekender on Talk Sport.
Oh, it feels good to be back. The Premier League is back on your radio, and the reigning champions do it in style. Welcome to the Sports Bar Weekender. I'm Will Gavin, alongside the mastermind Carlton Cole. For Arsenal, an absolute cakewalk tonight, strolling their way to a 3-0 victory in their chase to become just the 4th team in Premier League history to retain the title. And they do it without Saliba, they do it without Konsa, they do it without Guimaraes. Does it feel tonight, Arsenal fans, like the handbrake was off? With what you've seen over the past 7 days, 6 scored, no goals conceded, better flowing attacking football. Is this truly your title to lose? 03717 22 33 44 is the number to call to get involved. Also, Vinny Jr. who? How excited were you by Christos Solis' performance tonight? From a Coventry perspective, are Adrian praising them for that 45 minutes after Odegaard's third? Did it feel like Arsenal took their foot off the gas? Or were you impressed by the changes Frank Lampard made? Plus, of course, we'll look forward to the action in the Premier League tomorrow. A certain Hull City taking on Manchester United in the lunchtime kickoff. I wonder if there's anything to say on them. And that's a Man United side who have signed Carlos Baleba tonight as well with separate calls. On all of that and plenty more here on the Sports Bar Weekend on Talk Sports. Arsenal 3, Coventry 0. Will Gavin, the great Carlton Cole alongside me. I say the great, the infinitely wise Carlton Cole alongside me. How are you, brother?
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. You know, I'm hanging up. I've been there's been a lot of abuse thrown my way, and I saw my friends' way, Wayne Bridge and Joe Cole. But we're still standing. We're still here. I feel very, very intelligent, by the way.
Good to hear.
Although that the whole city owner doesn't think I am. Yeah, I'm quite happy. I actually might put my Simon Jordan head on today. Use some big words that I don't need to.
Use some big words. Will you understand them is my question.
I probably won't.
Is it out there with a...
Because I'm not really
an Arsenal game, just looking at words like sagacious and area.
I'm not really meticulous with my words, you know. So there's things out there that I can't do. This is the start of the show, so I'll be using big words.